It's our final Week 10 NFL picks live stream. We're going to review all the games. We're going to concentrate on the ones we like the most. You can probably get to most of them, but we're going to try to fill out our contest card. We're still over 500, so you can't really complain too much. I think we're 24 and 21. Despite our 1-4 last week, so hoping to rebound here and get on the right track again. Before we get into everything, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something for the merch store. It is our March is Greed Month, and this is in honor of the greatest stock trader of all time, Nancy Pelosi. As you can see on the shirt here, she has announced her retirement. So no one could ever read charts like her. She knew where all the resistance and all the support was. She was a master at stock trading. Just hats off to the great Nancy Pelosi. So you can get that shirt as well as everything else in the merch store. You can change the colors of the shirt. You can get long sleeve. You can get hoodie, you can get women's tank top, you get infant onesie, we have mugs, we have our apron, we have our baseball cap, the Battle of the Horses baseball cap. You can get all this and more, and we're always going to be adding stuff to this. So just check this out. If you want to help further, you can buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, which continues to have a perfect rating here. So this might actually be the best book of all time. We don't know that, but it was a lot of fun to write. I just made fun of people I met at college. So thank you guys. I had a lot of fun reading it. And then A Safety and a Field Goal, which was a top 5 topic book about the NFL. Mostly serious stuff, but some funny stuff as well. Some humor, whatever. And told stories that people have never heard of, some players or some coaches. Also, please consider super chats and super stickers. Kevin Kovac helped us out so much the past couple of weeks. So hopefully you guys help us out and keep the show going, because YouTube ads pay nothing. It's really pathetic. So could use all the support we can get here. We are joined by Quacky T. Tom, back for another Friday show. Tom, how are you?
Walter, here we are again. Hello to you and hello to everyone out there in the Walter football family. Hey, we had a rough week, but one of my cards, my bookie super contest cards, still managed to go 3-2, and I'm doing pretty well. We're still hanging in there even after a bad week. But anyhow, I wanted to tell you I went to the aquarium last weekend.
Oh wow!
I go to
the aquarium a lot.
Yeah, I went to the aquarium, and then I went out to lunch at Outback Steakhouse. And you know what they did, and the service was fine. Like, the server was nice, but it was like, I always hate when they come by and they ask, "How's everything tasting?" Like, when they say that specifically, I don't know why that weirds me. It's like, what do you just ask? Like, is everything okay? Like, can I get you anything? I mean, the meal is still good, but I don't know. Do you feel similarly?
They usually ask how's everything. They just how's everything. I think I don't really hear how's everything tasting.
Yeah. Oh no, I hear it sometimes. I don't like it. How's everything tasting? I don't know. I don't like when people are asking me that. Like, even like your buddy across from me, it's like, "Hey, how's your burger?" It's like, what do you really care?
That annoys me too. That annoys me too when people are asking me like, "Hey, how's your food?" It feels like they have nothing to say, and it's like you just try to fill the empty void. I don't like it either. I can see. I always want to answer like, none of your damn business.
For me, like, it's a very individual and personal experience. Like, what do you like? How's it taste? Like, oh, like, wow, you want to try? If I say it's good, then like maybe you're going to try to take a bite of it or something. I don't know. I don't know. I think it always kind of makes me cringe when they ask it that way.
You know what bothers me even more at restaurants is when you're with someone and they take some of your food. I hate, dude. I can't stand. And typically girls do it the most. If you're out with your friends, I've never heard a guy go, "Can I have some of your fries?" Like that's like unheard of. But like if you're with a date, or whether it's a girlfriend or a wife, they will take like half your meal. If
Oh yeah,
like it is. I find it so aggravating. I can't stand it.
Well, hey, that's part of the contract, man.
That's true. But it's like, why can't you just order it?
No, I know, and I've experienced that. I've experienced that too, and it's one of those. I don't know. You just have to deal with it. That's part of the contract sometimes. Yeah. Hey, man, the other thing that I can't stand. I don't know if I brought this up on the show. Like, I can't stand this saying when people say "to each their own," because you only ever say it. It's like the nice way of saying, "Oh, like you're a freaking weirdo," but okay. Like to each, I don't know. I've never heard anyone say it in any tone other than condescending. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
to each their own. Like like you're. What do you think about that? I don't like it. I don't. I feel. I think it's weird when people say that.
I never really thought about it. It never bothered me, but I think you're right. Like it is condescending. It's hard to say it without it being condescending. Like if you thought someone was normal, you wouldn't say it.
I just feel like it's a weak. It's like I don't know. It's just like weak writing. Like as far as like if you will, in the response, like you have no idea what to say. Like, oh, to each their own. Like I don't know. Yeah. It's like the nice way of saying like I don't care and you're weird.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know. I don't like when people say that. I don't hear too many people say it, but
Yeah, well, my pet peeps saying, which is "take it easy." I actually heard that.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I heard someone say it the other day. I forget where, but someone said it. I'm like, stop saying that. What do you mean? Take it easy. Stop. Take it hard.
Remember back in middle school, they'd be like, "Take her easy, and if she's easy, take her twice." Oh my god, I freaking hated that. That's so annoying.
I never heard that one. But that does sound annoying.
I don't hear that too often. Take it easy.
No, like I said, I heard it. I don't know if it was on TV or if I heard it in real life. I just can't remember. I just remember being like so tilted by someone saying that. So yeah, I definitely can understand being frustrated by some sayings.
What's your stance, real quick? What's your official stance on "for the birds"? When they're like, "Oh, this is for the birds," that one's that's a violation. You can't say that, and like unless you're saying it ironically.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it in real life. I've heard it in like literary, whether it's on TV or in a book, but I've never heard anyone say it in real life.
I have.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, I once on a Facebook post, and like someone posted, "This weather is for the birds." And I shared it to my buddy, and he was like, "That status is for the birds."
Yeah, I would say so.
One time I worked this job. It was like 6 years ago, and I was telling them that I used to like work in food service, but like I was like, yeah, I didn't like like the late night hours and that sort of thing. And I was telling her the story, and she's like, "Oh, you were just like, oh, this is for the birds. Enough of this for me." I was like, yeah. Those are the only two times I've actually come across it. But it's like, I don't know. It's an odd one.
Yeah,
it's an odd one.
Yeah. I'd say so. So, it's like I said, I never heard anyone say it in real life, but I don't know. I feel like you should respond like, "I'm not a fan of the Eagles" or something, or just say something that's just like completely off to confuse people, so they won't say it again, just so they don't want to be confused with like an Eagles fan or something. Or it could be any bird team, I guess. Or it could be Falcons or Seahawks, Cardinals.
Oh yeah, you could do it with parlay it with Battle of the Birds matchup.
Yeah, there's too many bird teams for that to be special, though. The Battle of the Birds. Yeah. The fact there are only 2 horse teams, Battle of the Horses, that makes it special. We could see it in the playoffs too. So I have a plan for if that occurs.
Who do you think's won more Super Bowls, animal teams or non-animal teams?
Well,
right away you got to think like, okay, like Green Bay's got 4, Dallas has 5, and
Patriots have 6.
Pittsburgh has 6, Patriots have 7, and the 49ers have 5. So like,
it's definitely non-animal teams.
Non-animal. Are you sure? Yeah. What if like every other Super Bowl though was? No, I guess that wouldn't work, huh?
No, I don't think so. Think of some of the animal teams, like the Cardinals have 0 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I was about to say the Texans in those Super Bowls, but like their logo is a bull, but they're actually not animals. The Jaguars have no Super Bowls. The Panthers have no Super Bowls.
Yeah. Okay. There should be a prop bet. It's like Animal Bowl. Both teams from the AFC and NFC will be animal teams, like 3-1. No, would you think it would be more than that? It depends.
You could probably.
Thank you, Kevin.
You could probably find some props on that. Kevin Kovac helping us out. Another $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Appreciate it, Kevin.
couldn't tune in this week. There's no shot Raheem has his players ready for this one. Those poor boys are going to wake up Monday wondering if Germany was a dream.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have zero interest. Thanks, Kevin. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.
I have no interest in this Falcons Colts game. And I know we're gonna get to the games in a bit, but do you have any interest in this this Germany game since Kevin brought it up?
No, I don't play these international games. It's just not, save for like maybe the Brazil game at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Because that has because you're in at least a time zone you're used to you traveling in.
Right.
I don't know. It's just like these games end up being. I feel like these games are almost always low scoring. At least most of them have been this year, except for the Rams. Well, the Rams had 38 there, but I don't know. I'm actually kind of inclined to take the Falcons here, but I mean, I'm not going to touch it. But I don't know. You just never know what you're getting with Atlanta. Like what version of them is going to show up. And like, I don't know, like sometimes I like to fade a team too, like depending on the situation too. It's like, oh, like they just got Sauce Gardner, the Colts did, and it's just like,
right.
Okay, like could he come in and be like a huge, like part of that defense in game one, like in less than a week? Okay, yeah, like he's talented enough, but will he? And I think like people tend to put like a little too much stock in it. They're like, oh, like that, like they're already good and now they have Sauce Gardner. It's like, well, okay, like that can take time. I'm not saying it necessarily will, but I think maybe that's why this line is a little inflated. I don't. Well, I mean, certainly because he's now on the team, but I don't know, that kind of makes me like the Colts less because I feel like, I don't know, that feels square to me. It feels a little square to me. And also like the first game is overseas. Like, I don't know, like you haven't even like really established like home base with the new team yet. You're somewhere else. And it's like, hey, maybe that matters. Maybe it doesn't, but like the scary thing about Atlanta is you just don't know what you're going to get. Like sometimes we've seen them, we've lost on them and we've hit on them this year. Like, but they're Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, they beat the Bills and then they get absolutely embarrassed by the Panthers and Dolphins. It's like, it's hard to predict. So, but I am inclined to take the Falcons here. I don't think, I don't know. Like, isn't there always a chance like Daniel Jones could have like an old Daniel Jones game too? I mean, look, I like the Colts team a lot. They're obviously more than Jones. So this is really, really good team. But I don't know. This seems like this line seems a little higher than I think maybe. So I'm not going to touch it because you never know what to expect in these international games or from the Falcons, like I stated. But I'd take the Falcons if I had to.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones had a classic Jones game last week. Could happen again. Atlanta has the number 7 defense in the NFL. And I do agree that this line is inflated. Like, I made this line 4.5, and here it is at 6.5. DeForest Buckner's out too. Like, he got placed on IR today. So that's a big deal. But I still can't bring myself to bet the Falcons. It's just like too many unknowns here. I guess one unknown is what Kevin's saying. Raheem himself doesn't know what he doesn't know about international games. He's Raheem Marcia. You can't trust him at all, like one bit at this point. Maybe he's an underdog against an overrated team. That's like the one area like you could bet him, I guess. But like when he's favored, especially coming off a win, you just kind of like have to stay away because he's so inept and his players just don't show up to too many games. But like, if you think about it this way, like what if the Colts also have jet lag issues? We don't know. Like, what if Jonathan Taylor is just like horrible, like overseas? I don't know. I mean, there's just like too many unknowns in this game. And I get Kevin's sentiment about taking the Colts. I just like, almost a coin flip for me for the Falcons just because the line's too high, but like it wouldn't be surprising at all if this is a double-digit win by the Colts.
Well, no, and I don't disagree. I mean, that could certainly happen too. But like, I think it's funny, like after, like, isn't it funny, like what a difference, like a year or two, well, yeah, just a year or even 2 years, like if Jones had a game like he had last week, a year ago or 2 years ago, they'd be like, we'd all be like typical typical Daniel Jones. And now like this year, it's so funny. Oh, he'll bounce back. Like, it's like he didn't have a good game against the Steelers, which I had the Steelers. I on my super contest card. I love for those of you real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to gloat because I know you had the Colts, but I was interacting with some folks in the comments of last week's show, and we were kind of talking about the Steelers. So Congrats if you took it. And sorry, Walter.
Well, don't see. So I didn't bet the Colts. I didn't have an opinion on the game. So
Did you have him on a contest or something? Maybe
Evan and I had him on the contest
okay.
card. As Evan liked them a lot, but I thought he made some really good points about them. Andy liked them too. So yeah. I respect what Evan and Andy say a lot, and they make great points. I just couldn't bring myself to bet the Colts. I just think it was a good spot, and Steelers usually are good as underdogs, even though they didn't cover against the Packers. So that's why I stayed away. But that's a great call on your part, liking Steelers.
Thanks, but for those that are new to the show, Evan and Andy know a hell of a lot more than I do, so definitely listen to that. I go more on feel, and just having known Walter for over 20 years, we're often on the same page. So like these guys know the X's and O's of it way more than I do. I mean, I know a little bit, but I don't know. I just tend to go on feel for anyone who's new to watching.
No, the X's and O's, the Jims and the Joes.
Wait, what's that from?
Cousin Sal used to say it all the time. I forget where it was from. I don't know where it's from originally. You may not know the X's and O's, but he knows the Jims and the Joes. I don't know why.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it appears the Quacks on the road. Yes.
I'm out here visiting Baby Buddy.
Baby Buddy.
Yeah, that's my dad. I'm visiting my dad. That's my dad's dog.
Oh, okay. That's what you called your dad, Baby Buddy.
No, Archie, the dog.
Weird.
Remember, I posted Archie. Plenty of times. It's part of the fun when I visit here. I get to see him.
Okay, I don't know. I thought that's what you called your dad for a second. I was like, that's weird.
That's so fucking weird.
My dad, Baby Buddy.
Time here. No, people here know who Baby Buddy is, the dog.
Okay. 4 total questions. Here's the first 2. Pick one receiver and one flex. Garrett Wilson, who's playing, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, Breece Hall. There's gonna be weather in the Chicago game, like very windy, snow potentially. So take Moore out. Breece Hall is going against Cleveland, which is a problem. So I guess Garrett Wilson is too. I think there's weather in Cleveland as well. I could be wrong. Let me check that real fast. In Cleveland, there's gonna be definite rain. 10-mile-an-hour winds, not too bad. So I guess I would go with Hall, hoping that he catches some passes, and definitely Stephon Diggs. Do you have any opinion on this before we get to Jay Up's next question?
I really don't. Don't listen to Walter when it comes to fantasy football. I don't really. I'm good at fantasy hockey. That's about it.
Okay. Pick one tight end and one flex. Juwan Johnson, Cade Otton, Harold Fannin, and Zach Charbonnet. Well, Fannin may not play. He's questionable. He had a DNP. So even if he plays, he might be hurt. So Juwan Johnson, Cade Otton, and Zach Charbonnet. Well, I would definitely flex Charbonnet in there. So it's between Johnson and Otton. The Panthers are pretty weak to tight ends, so I think I would go Juwan Johnson. So good luck, Jay Up. Hope that helps. I super agree off the international games because the prep traveled variables, but since I have to make a selection, I'm taking Shane of Raheem. The line might already have baked it in. That's probably true. Just imagine when we have an Australian game next year. That'll be fun.
Oh, I can't wait.
When does that even start? It's going to be, I guess, when's that going to start even? Like,
why don't we go to me and you will go to the Australia game.
We'll visit Ben Wasley. He'll crash at his place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll let us stay there.
I think he would. He's nice. He's super nice.
Dude,
guy.
let's do. We could be the eyes on the ground.
Eyes on the ground of the Australia game. You could do it. Look, my wife won't let me go. I have 2 young kids. You could go. You could be our correspondent.
Wow, that would be. Would you actually wake up at the necessary time if I did that?
Well, it's not gonna be an early game. Like 9 a.m. would be. What's the time in Sydney right now? It's 3:31 p.m. right now. So so this 8 hours behind. So if a game started 9 a.m., there'd be 1 a.m. there. So it would definitely not be an early game. It would have to be a late game. I think it would have to start like 8 p.m. and that would be noon there. So it would just be a typical night game for us. So that I would like that a lot better.
Eventually, what'll be awesome is when they have like games in every single country.
Oh my God.
And there'll be a football game, and they'll just rotate. There'll be like a schedule of like rotating countries, and there'll be an NFL game every single day during the football season. They'll figure it out.
Well, here we go. Our NFL Ukraine T-shirt: play NFL games in Ukraine. There you go.
That's what we should do. I mean, we're really not terribly far from that now. I mean, sometimes there's football like 4 days a week.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually 3, but once it gets late season,
but then they'll do like Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, well, Thanksgiving
we Saturday games and whatnot.
Yeah, Thanksgiving we have Black Friday, and then we have Saturday games all throughout December, and of course we have the Friday game to start the year usually. Although I don't think they can do it this upcoming season, 2026. It just because it has to be the first Friday of September. Like they can't do it second Friday of September. It's against the law. Actually, it's actually against the law. They can't do it. It's the 1963 TV Broadcasting Act or something. I forget what year it was, but it's actually the NFL cannot broadcast on Friday nights, Friday evenings, unless it's the first Friday in September. So it's a little known fact. Got offered London and Kittle for McBride. My receivers: CD, Waddle, DK, Tetaroa, McBride, killing it with Brissett. Take it. Full PPR, 2 receivers, no premier, super flex on 5 and 4. All right. So I feel like we answered this question yesterday or 2 days ago. I think I would do this. Look, McBride's awesome. And yeah, he's killing it with Brissett. But, maybe do it after this week because Seattle this is the easiest matchup ever for McBride. And maybe you can get more after he has this great game. But I would like it after this game, I think. So, yeah, I mean, you get 2 players there, and looks like you could use some help at receiver too. Who names the city? Sydney. Is there a sister city in the USA named Sweeney? I was about to say that. Any fan of Sydney Sweeney, but obviously that was beforehand. When I was a boy, the NFL only played on Sundays. You whippersnappers. yeah.
Man, we got a good crowd here tonight. We got a good crowd tonight. Thanks everyone for joining.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pretty or ugly wins mean nothing in the NFL. Winning's all that matters.
That's right. Go Denver.
Well, I would say no, it's not true because good teams win, great teams cover. So.
Okay. Oh, Walter, you knew.
Yeah. Look, if you don't cover, you're not a great team. So
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. Denver's they're 8-2 now, huh?
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah. They're going to be an easy fade in the playoffs. Very easy fade. One and done.
Oh,
easy.
yeah. You
just
say
like
that
last year. Just like last year.
Yeah, right. You say that now when they got the 1 seed and they have that home field advantage and they're all sucking wind with the oxygen tanks at Mile High Stadium. You'll be singing a different tune then, huh? When Bo Nix lays it on you.
Yeah, the Raiders are sucking air in that 10-7 game.
Dude, I love it. You said you love a good defensive battle too, huh?
Yeah, I like when there's really good defense, but the offense is not inept. But the offense was inept last night on both sides. The Raiders couldn't block, and the Broncos couldn't throw. Bo Nix is awful. His footwork is terrible. He just had so many bad passes, so many inaccurate passes, just because his footwork was a mess. So that wasn't a great defensive battle. That was just ineptitude. On
how much would I have to pay you to watch it the whole game, start to finish, 5 more times?
I typically watch every game 3 times, so I'm already halfway there. So,
oh my god, okay, 10 more times this week with ads.
So,
would you do it for $100?
No, because I need to work. I need to work. I need to make money. I'm
but you are working. You're watching the Broncos. You're gonna be an expert on the Broncos and the Raiders after that.
Yeah, but I'm not getting paid for it outside of the $100.
I need the bragging rights you'll have here on the show.
It'll be like feed my family, man. That's not feeding my family.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's. Hey, thanks again, Kevin. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Kevin says, I'm so eager to fade the Broncos 8-2. Yeah, me too. Should see some juicy undeserved lines. Yeah, 100%, especially when they play the tougher teams in the playoffs too. They play the Chiefs next week too. So Andy Reid coming off a bye. So the advanced line on do you want to guess what the advanced line on that game is? Because Evan and I, after the show is over, I'll tell you in a second. After the show is over, we looked at the Week 11 lines like off air, and we were both way off on Chiefs at Broncos. So this is next week's game, Chiefs at Broncos. What do you make this line? What do you think the line is, rather?
Chiefs at Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Kansas City minus 3.5.
It's 2.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Take the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
Yeah, Andy Reid off a bye. It's great record off a bye. Typically, what happened was Andy Reid used to have like this impeccable record off a bye. He was like 10-2 or something, and then they started juicing up his line. So like, if a typical line was like Chiefs -6, it would go to like Chiefs minus 9.5 even. Like it would be insane. It would be so difficult to bet him off a bye, but like they seem to have forgotten this year. I don't know why. It just did. I don't quite understand it. So
well, let's take the Chiefs next week, huh? Barring some something crazy happening between now and then.
Yeah. Jason said Chiefs -1. The line I made was like Chiefs -5.5, and Evan made it Chiefs -4.5. So like we were both way off on what the line should be. I don't get it.
Well, what do you think it should be? Huh?
5.5. I think it should be
5.5.
The Chiefs are one of the two best teams in the NFL, and the Broncos are an average team. Like
you can't be hating on my man Bo Nix. I mean, look, I know they're not the same since they parted ways with Lil Jordan Humphrey, but they're doing all right. I think they're better than you think they are. Maybe, I don't know.
The Broncos.
Yeah, they can. I mean,
hold on. I mean, let's review.
And wait, who did they lose to? They lost of course they lost the Battle of the Horses. They could be 9-1. What was their other loss? I can't remember now.
Their other loss was to the Chargers in Week 3, back when the Chargers were healthy.
Oh, that's right.
They had so they obviously lost the Battle of Horses. They beat the Giants by 1. They beat the Texans by 3. Davis Mills Texans by 3. They beat the Raiders by 3. They beat the Titans by 8. They beat the Jets by 2. This is were we supposed to take this team seriously? Like I get like 1 or 2 close wins, but like 5 against bad teams. Faux Nix, I like it.
Yeah, but I mean, I might think twice about it if everyone's loading up on the Chiefs. They probably will,
huh? What do you mean? If
for next week, Chiefs at Broncos?
I imagine the public will be on the Chiefs, given there's such a negative sentiment now with Bo Nix. Like everyone on Twitter is like, "Are we sure Bo Nix is good?" That the stupid Lindsay OK girl asked that today. Like, what do you mean? Like, I never thought he was good. I always thought he was like average. He's a good fantasy player because he scrambles sometimes.
Bo Nix is the truth, man. Just you wait. When he's hoisting that Lombardi trophy at the end of the season.
Okay, I don't think that'll happen. But
okay.
Look. I mean, look. If they're in the playoffs, anyone who makes the playoffs usually has a shot. Not always, but most of the time. But I'd be surprised if they go the distance, and I think it's way more likely they're one and done, even if they get the 1 seed. Because
who do you think?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm done.
Who do you think in your lifetime is the worst team to win the Super Bowl? I know that's kind of a tough.
I think the Steelers in 2005.
I was just gonna say that too. Oh my god.
That team got so lucky. That team got so lucky in their playoff run. Like they beat the Bengals in the first round when Carson Palmer got hurt. Palmer got hurt. I believe he got hurt in the second quarter, if I remember correctly. It was like early second quarter. It was like 11 minutes left in the second quarter or something. The Bengals were up, I believe, in that game, and the Steelers won because like the Bengals didn't have a viable replacement. Yeah, exactly. Jason said Bengals should have won in 05, but they hurt Palmer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bengals are winning. They were up in that game. I mean, it's still early, so anything could happen. But I was confident the Bengals were going to win that game. And then the Steelers in the next round, they play the Colts. That was Peyton Manning's choke job.
That game.
And then they get the Broncos in the AFC Championship with Jake Plummer.
Plummer, yo, man.
Yeah, Jake Plummer sucked.
Put respect on Plummer's name. He
Look,
almost got him there.
he was super exciting to watch, but he was a turnover machine sometimes. He was so bad on occasion. And then in the Super Bowl, they one of the most controversial Super Bowls ever with the Seahawks and all those weird calls. It just felt like the Steelers just got break after break after break that year. So I think that definitely has to be like in the running for the worst team to win it.
That's funny. That's exactly who I was going to say. I remember. So I was 19 years old that year. This was January 06, and I was watching that Colts game in my dorm room in a Runkle Hall, North Halls. And my girlfriend at the time was watching with me, and all the Steelers had to do was kneel it, but they were on the 2. They stopped the Colts on 4th down at their own 2. And I looked at my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, what would you do? I was like, would you run it in or kneel it? And she goes, I'd run it in. I said, I'd kneel it. I mean, no sooner did I say that. Oh man, I can't think of who the defender was. I mean, he put his helmet right on the ball, man.
Yeah,
anyone would have fumbled it.
Yeah,
and anyone would have fumbled that. Jerome Bettis had that, and then Roethlisberger had that shoestring tackle.
Yeah, I remember vividly.
And Vanderjagt missed that field goal.
The liquored up kicker.
Yeah.
As Peyton Manning would call him. So,
yeah,
that was crazy. That's a crazy run by the Steelers. They did not deserve that at all. And the Patriots lost to the Broncos too in the second round. Like the Patriots could have beaten the Steelers in the AFC Championship. Tom Brady, obviously. So yeah, they got super lucky with all their opponents and all the injuries that benefited them. Giants also very not good for the wins either. I'll say this: at least they had an elite defensive line. Like they're probably one of the, like, if you're grading all the 59 winners, like they're probably in the bottom 15. I would say maybe even bottom 10. That'd be fun. That'd be fun to do. Great. The problem is, like, I didn't see like the first 20 or so, so I can't speak to like anything before the Buffalo run, Super Bowl run. Like that's when I first started watching football. So I can't talk about anything that happened in the 80s. Like I can look at stats and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I would say so, Jason. Like, I would say those two, at least the Giants had like a really impressive run. They had to get through some tough teams. I mean, that first year, Dallas, the 1 seed, Green Bay, and then they beat the undefeated Patriots. I mean, that was, they didn't get any breaks. And then really the following year too. I mean, they remember Green Bay was 15-1 that year. Giants crushed them too, 37-20. It was like not even close.
Mm-hmm.
That sucked. That was a game that was over before it began. That one hurt as a Packers fan. I was just like, wow. Like, I mean, expectations were so high. 15-1 they went.
Yeah.
So, and then they beat the 49ers. 49ers were good. That was a good team. And then they beat the Patriots again. That was so. I would say that. Like, I mean, I think I remember the second time they won it there in the Manning era, they were 9-7. So, like, as far as like they weren't good, yeah, like they didn't have a good record, but they didn't go through like any easy teams either. So
yeah,
remember they beat the Falcons 21-2.
Yeah.
That first game. I love the score got me.
That was cool. All right. Do you want to unless we have any comments on this? Do you want to get into this? Who's better, Quacky, Knicks or Penix?
Oh man, that's hard to say. I love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it depends on the day. I think they both have high ceilings. I know it's probably maybe not a popular opinion, but I don't know. I love Michael Penix.
I think if I had to choose one to run my franchise for the next 10 years, I think I'd go Penix. I don't think Knicks has the upside. Like, Knicks has no upside. I think he's a higher floor. At least I wanted to say that before last night's game, and then his footwork was just a mess. Like, I don't know. Penix, but Knicks has a coach. Yeah, give Penix Sean Payton and see what happens there. So, it's a good question for sure. But I think it's close. Look, it's close, but I think I'd go Penix. Anyway, let's get to the games. And we already talked Falcons Colts. We're not going to put that on our card. Luckily, I don't want to have anything to do with that.
No,
just because
neither do I.
I told you I have these, like, whenever I bet anything in the European games, I will I wake up and I will like I'll like check the score, and then I will go back to sleep, and then I will like dream about the game, like the Vikings Steelers game. I dreamt that because I had the Vikings. I dreamt that the Vikings went up 17-0, and I woke up. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. The Vikings are winning, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not real. Let me check the real score. and so then I saw the Steelers winning. I'm like, oh man, this sucks. And then it happened again, like the Vikings Browns game. Luckily, the Vikings ended up covering that one. I also dreamt that the Vikings were winning that game, and then Broncos Jets. I dreamt that the Broncos were up like 21-0, and like I can't take these. I hate these games so much. To quote Miss White,
I love
flames
them
on the side of my face. I hate it so much.
How about what if I was the Walter Football International correspondent? I'll be boots on the ground every international game, and I'll be like making video like I'm out here in Berlin. Like
that doesn't that won't stop my nightmares if I'm betting the games.
What if we can really expand, Walter Football?
But I'll still want to know if my bets are winning or not. That's the issue here. It's not that we don't have anyone overseas to cover the games. Like if you want to do it, I can't really pay you, but you can. You can do, you
what if it brought in like so much revenue? You'd be like, hey, right. People they want more and more of the international games. I've lost my freaking mind. I don't know how you guys put up with me.
Who'd you dream this wins this week so we know how to fit? Well, the thing is, it's only the European games. I mean, I dreamt Ryan Fox will win the Canadian Open. He was 75-1, and I bet it, and he won. So I would not just blindly fade that. Penix is a lefty from Tampa. Supposedly, he wanted to stay here for college. The 2016-18 USF staff at the time refused to talk to him as a recruit because he was a left-handed quarterback. Bad fit. I've heard that. Kevin. I've heard that. Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate your super chats. It helps so much. Like I can't say enough. Like YouTube ads are horrible. So thank you, Kevin. Yeah. So I've heard that before. Charlie's mentioned that to me, that some teams will just not even bother with left-handed quarterbacks unless they're like elite prospects. Just because you have to change your whole offensive line and stuff like that. You have to change your playbook. So teams just don't want to bother with left-handed quarterbacks. So for what it's worth. Yeah. So yeah. So we talk about one game.
I'll put a timestamp on it. What game I love it. Jason's like none.
none.
The people know what they're getting when I'm on the show.
Yeah, Windler's got a worse defense, 22-5, the Jets or the Bengals. I would have said the Bengals before, but the Jets now. The Jets, they might make a run for that with the let's talk about the game. I'll bring that up first. Paris saying a guy here. Bengals by a mile. Well, if Trey Hendrickson is playing, that is that makes a big difference. We'll see if he's available after the Week 10 bye. But yeah, that's interesting as hell. I kind of knew the opposite, the footwork thing, but I kind of understand it when you phrase like that. Yeah. It makes sense. It really does. That you have to change a lot, and you don't think about it, but you really do. If you get a quarterback like Steve Young, like you're obviously gonna just play around it. You're going to fix your offense around it. But if you have like a Penix, I could see some teams just passing on just because of the left-handedness. Anyway, let's get to these games, and I'll go first if you don't mind. I was looking at Browns and Jets, and I like the Browns when they were underdogs here before the trade deadline. Obviously, the Jets traded Quinn Williams and Sauce Gardner. I don't think Sauce Gardner's absence matters at all. For this game, just because, well, first of all, there's gonna be rain and some wind, and second, you have Dylan Gabriel throwing, so it's not like Dylan Gabriel is going to connect with Jerry Jeudy anyway. So I really didn't think that would matter. But Quinn Williams missing on the front, the Jets are not going to get as much pressure on the quarterback, and they already didn't get much anyway. And the run defense is going to be worse. So that's just a bad sign here against Quinshon Judkins, who I think is going to have a big game. It just seems like wrong to think the Browns as road favorites. But remember the Panthers are road favorites of the Jets, and I can't remember what we thought about the game, but I remember thinking, and Andy thought the same thing. We agreed. We're like, Like Panthers road favorites. How can you take the Panthers road favorites? Well, they won by 7, and I think the Browns and Panthers, despite their different records, obviously the Panthers have they're 5-4. The Browns are they have 2 wins. So you look at the difference there, and you're like, how do you back a 2-win team on the road? But I think they're about even. I have them both in Group D. The Browns obviously have a much better defense. They both run the ball well with Judkins and Rico Doodle. The Panthers. I don't even know if the Panthers do better than the Browns. What did the Panthers do better than the Browns? I mean, they have McMillan, and McMillan's a better receiver 1 than the Browns have, but the Browns have their 2 tight ends. So do you? I'm asking sincerely. Do you know what? Can you think of what the Panthers do better than the Browns?
I don't know. I think this Browns team is underrated. Especially, I mean, obviously they have a really strong defense. So I'm not against it.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they're too. I mean, I think they're pretty close to at least even. Not on the offensive side. It's hard to have any trust in Dylan Gabriel. Not that I have any in Bryce Young either, but
Jason's saying quarterback. I mean, yeah, by default, I guess, but Bryce Young sucks. He's not good. Dylan Gabriel sucks more, but Dylan Gabriel is just going to dink and dunk. Like Bryce Young could actually get his team in trouble with turnovers. Corner. I don't know. I mean, I don't really see that much of a difference there. Yeah. So I think you could maybe point out one or 2 positions, but I think overall the Browns are probably better than the Panthers. And if the Panthers go win by 7 at the Jets with Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, I think the Browns could easily win by that margin. And they don't even have to win by 7; they have to win by 3 here against the Jets without Quinnen Williams and without Sauce Gardner. So I like the Browns here. Now the Jets are probably going to get Garrett Wilson back. Which is unfortunate if you like the Browns, but I still like them to cover. I would say I want to say the difference is, like, I think Carolina's better offensive line, but I don't think that matters in this matchup because the Jets can't get to the quarterback. So tackle maybe, is Jason saying. Yeah, I think that's fair, but the Jets have no pass rush, so what does it matter? So I like the Browns here at -2.5 for a fair amount. That's not one of my top plays, but it's probably like my 4th or 5th best pick, maybe 6th. So it's probably going to be on my card. Probably Coach. I like Stefanski. He just has nothing to work with offensively. And by the way, the record is different because the Panthers have had so many easy games. They've had 2 tough games against the Bills and the Patriots. The Browns have played. Here we go. Here's another point I wanted to make. The Browns have played the Ravens, the Lions, the Packers, and the Patriots. When they played against teams that are average or worse, they beat the Bengals. By the way, the only game that Joe Burrow played fully. They lost by 1 to the Bengals. They could have beaten them. They outgained them by 180 yards. They hung tough with the Vikings. They're up the whole game. They lost by 4. They lose to the Steelers by 14. That's their only bad result here that I'm going to mention. And then they beat the Dolphins 31-6. I think this game could be similar to that because I think the Dolphins and Jets are on the same level. And I would say that the Browns are definitely a tier above that. So I like Cleveland here as long as it's under 3, and it's under 3 right now. So but what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to take the Browns too, but I'm a little hesitant here.
Okay,
but I do like them. I mean, look, even let's take a look at a team like Carolina who has a defense that's pretty good, and then a defense like Denver's, which were the 2 opponents before that the Jets had before they beat Cincinnati. And it put up 39 there out of nowhere. I don't know. I just, and especially now losing Sauce Gardner, that's got to be, it's kind of like the message that, I mean, obviously this was, they're not going anywhere this year, but that, like, I don't know, gives like a feeling of like confirmation. Like, I don't know. I wonder if they're going to get up for this one, like at all. Yeah. Like you could argue, okay, well, they finally did win a game. And they, down the stretch, they look good beating Cincinnati. But Cincinnati is a terrible defense. Browns have a very good defense. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I guess you could argue, like, oh, the Jets, like, they put up a lot of points. Now they're coming out of the bye. Maybe this will revive them. I don't know. They've looked really bad at times. I mean, if not at times, most of the year. So I'd be inclined to go with the Browns. I guess just the road favorite is a little gives me a little apprehension, but you might be able to talk me into it because I mean, like let's look at some of these other, like they scored 6 against Carolina, they scored 11 against Denver. If they score that like 11 or less, like I think Cleveland's going to cover here. Like this could be another 13-6 game or like a 17-3 game or something. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to look at, like they've won their first game, then a bye week, they're going to have momentum. This team's looked so bad for most of the year. I like the Browns here. I think you'll probably be able to talk me into it now.
Okay. I could put this on the maybe pile at the moment. So let me do that. And let me Cleveland minus what are they in the super contest? They
Kevin,
are
I like what Kevin said. Didn't the Jets win their Super Bowl last week? I'm with it.
The before the bye, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I seemed like they were going all out to kind of prove their owner wrong about Justin Fields. So I think Kevin's on to something there.
Yeah,
what? They aren't waiting for the Browns. Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's put them on. We've read the Browns pretty well this year. We took them. We took them. Yeah. Yeah, we've done all right with them. Let's put it on.
Let me. Which games have I gotten wrong about the Browns this year? We
had Jacksonville week 2.
Well, no, this is Jaguars Bengals. We're talking about Browns.
No, you're right. Actually, we've gotten most of them because we had them against the Bengals week 1.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Ravens week 2 when they played the Ravens. So I was on the right side of that one. Remember week 3? I said don't take the Packers, and I liked them against Green Bay. I said don't take Packers and Survivor, and I ended up being right there.
Yeah, I had a big play on the Browns against the Dolphins.
Same here. Yeah, that was the biggest play I had in a while.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's put them on the card. Let's see. To be fair, they can't make the blind Browns -3. That's true. While you're going to alienate your entire German fan base. sorry about that, Chris. I just look. If these Germany / Spain / England games were 1 p.m. Eastern, I would have no issue with them. I can't wake up that early. I just can't. I go to bed at 6 a.m. I work till 6 a.m. I just can't do it. If I wake up at 2.5 hours after, I won't be able to function the whole day, and I need to with football. I just can't do it.
That's why I could be the eyes on the ground.
But again, I still have these nightmares about it. It won't change anything.
But I'll be like, I'm here filling in for Walter football for the next 2.5 hours until he's awake.
Andy joining us. Hey, Andy, this game deserves to end up 4-2. 4-2 safeties for one team, 1 safety for the other. Well, Tom and I were privileged to watch Penn State back in 2004, and as 6-4, Iowa beat Penn State 6-4.
I was at that game.
My condolences on that.
Yeah.
I watched with a hangover in my dorm room. It was just
yeah. Andy, thanks for joining. I always enjoy watching your episode with Walt.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Andy, for joining us once again. All right, Tom, it is your turn to make a pick. We have the Browns on our card. Who do you like here?
Okay, let's see. Where should we go first? Oh, I got one for us. Let's not overthink this one. Let's just put the Saints on the card now. Come on, 5.5, man. This is the Panthers. No way, man. No way. And I know, and this is perfect. I love the setup. Okay, everyone thinks the Panthers are great because they just beat my Packers, who are the Packers this year are like the most unpredictable team maybe ever. They're so frustrating as a fan too. They're so frustrating to watch. There's just no consistency. And Shuck looks terrible, but they're playing the Rams. The Rams have a really good defense. Yes, the Panthers defense is improved, but look, I don't know. I know they lost Shaheed, but this Saints team has tended to play tough. This year they played a lot of good opponents tough. I think this is a serious overreaction for the Panthers. I love the Saints to keep this close. I wouldn't take the Panthers in not that I don't know that anyone would. Well, it depends on what they had left, I guess. I wouldn't take the Panthers in Survivor, but be careful if you're of the belief Shuck looked terrible and this is only going to be a second start of I wouldn't really hang your hat on that. This is a weird spot. This is a weird spot. So I like the Saints. I like the Saints here. Let's not overthink this one. I think this is going to be a close game.
Yeah, I do too. I really do too. It's funny. Like Shuck didn't really have a chance last week because the Rams won the time of possession 44-16. 44 minutes, 16 minutes. Like the Saints barely had the ball, so they couldn't really get anything going. And plus, the Rams defense is number 2 in the NFL. So like Shuck had a very difficult matchup. The Panthers, where are they defensively? They are number 20. So go from 2 to 20. It's quite the difference for Tyler Shuck here, who's going to have more of a chance.
I thought they were better than 20. Okay, well now I like the Saints even more. Huh?
Yeah, and remember they've had an easy schedule too. So I think this 5-4 record is such a farce by the Panthers. I really don't buy it at all. They've had so many good fortune incidents for them. Like teams did not show up. Like the Falcons week 3, they've had some fluky wins. I don't know. I think that and they've had a very easy schedule. And I actually wrote this on the site. The Saints have had a very difficult schedule. The only team they played worse in Group C was the Giants, and they beat the Giants. If you gave the Saints the Panthers schedule and you gave the Panthers the Saints schedule, I don't think the records would necessarily be flipped, but I think they'd be kind of similar. I think they'd both be like 3-6 or something. So I think I would say the Panthers are a little bit better than the Saints, but they're not 5.5 points better than the Saints. So yeah, I'm with you on the Saints. And here's a bonus. There's this quote unquote handicapper on the NBC Sports website, and whenever you go to the site, you see the video of them. Like it's one girl and some guy. They always have these like short clips. And this girl, like, I remember she loved the Dolphins against the Browns, and because she's like, you got to take the Dolphins here. She's stupid arguments. She didn't make the argument. She's like, you got to take the Dolphins, and her argument for the Panthers this week, she's like, oh, the Panthers are back in the crib. They're definitely going to win this game. I'm like, what? That's your reason? That's your reasoning? Like, there's no home field advantage in the NFL anymore, you know? So no, I'm with you on the Saints. Anytime you get a Group D or Group F, a Group D game, usually the line is way too high. Like we had Jets at Bengals. Jets were the good side there, and then we had Giants at Cowboys week 2. Giants covered that as well. Both those lines were a little bit higher than this, but still 5.5 is way too high. I would make this line 3 or 3.5. So, and shout out to Evan who said he might take the Panthers. You just told him not to because
well, Evan's smarter than I am when it comes to this stuff. So maybe hey, they could still win. I just need them to cover. They can win by 3. That's fine.
Yeah, no, they can still win. Yeah, you're right. I think I couldn't. If you made it this far to week 9, you're almost halfway there. I just couldn't. Or sorry, week 10. Like you're still almost halfway there because you need to make 20 picks. That's what I was getting at. I could not get myself to take the Panthers. After this, I get taking risky picks early, but like at the halfway point, you're really gonna ride with the Panthers. I don't know, man. I just couldn't do it. So
I would be hesitant to do it as well. But I mean, hey, they could win. I mean, they are the better team. But like, I don't know this spot. This is a huge overreaction. This is a huge overreaction to the Panthers beating the Packers. That's what this is all about.
Oh, 100%.
That's exactly what this is all about. And I'm here to tell you, as a Packers fan, this team is overrated. I think people are maybe starting to catch on now, but like, this is exactly what this is. Yeah, I know they've strung together a few wins, but like, I don't know. I really like the Saints in this spot. I think this is going to be a close game, and especially because the Saints looked so. I mean, the thing, and you brought up a great point about the time of possession against the Rams, Walter, because I saw most of that game. It's like you knew from jump it was hopeless.
Yeah,
you knew from jump it was hopeless for the Saints against the Rams, and it's like that feeling, that sort of feel sticks in the public's memory. You know, more than. And especially like the Saints coming in from that angle and the Patriots coming in, or the Panthers coming in from this angle. It's just like, I really like this. This is like a perfect storm for overreactions. Yeah. Okay. Now could the Panthers run a clinic and win by 20? Sure. But I like the Saints here, and I'm definitely down to put them on the card if you want to.
Yeah, I am too. We're going to add. I'm already betting the Saints for a couple units. Like It's probably like my 6th favorite pick or 7th. So I don't know if it's going to make my card. Probably not, unless there's some injuries that pop up on Saturday. But we can put the Saints on for sure because just for variety purposes for me. Look at the Panthers home away splits. It's such a small sample size, though. Like I don't really buy into it. Like, why would the Panthers have a great home field advantage? It just doesn't make sense. Like, they're not in altitude or anything. Like, there's no defining characteristic of their stadium. I guarantee if you look at their next 10 games or so, they'll probably be 5-5 against the spread at home. I think that's the most likely result is 5-5 against the spread at home, and then 6-4 or 4-6 either way. Like, I really don't think that they're going to continue this. It just doesn't really make sense logically, unless you can find a reason, Tom. I don't really see it.
No, I really like the spot. Oh, Andy's saying that the Westgate line over the summer was 5.5. Well,
yeah.
Well, what I guess I didn't choose my words very carefully. What I meant was because I'm under the impression. I guess I'm assuming that the public likes the Panthers, probably. Yeah.
Let me look.
Because I would have made this line 4, Andy.
Yeah, the public is on the Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I meant more an overreaction as far as maybe public money. At least that would have been my guess. But like I really love the spot here. I really love the spot.
Yeah,
for New Orleans. So they've been pretty good to us.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so what strengths do the Saints possess? At least the Panthers have a strong running game. Actually, the Saints are pretty good against the run. I would say that's a strength. The run defense, well, not pretty good. The run defense is 15th, so maybe that's not a strength, but it's not a weakness either. They have Chris Olave. They have Kamara, who can be a good receiver out of the backfield. And their offensive line is not bad, although Talise Fuaga's out there. And Eric McCoy. So they do have some injuries. At the beginning of the season, it looked like their offensive line was not going to be that bad, but I don't know. But I feel like the Saints can handle the run a little bit here against the Panthers, and I don't know. The Panthers ran all over the Packers, but I think that was Green Bay just not showing up to that game. So I really don't buy any. I don't like. Yeah. I don't put any stock into that win. As crazy as it sounds, like beating the Packers.
Either.
Yeah.
They do have Rico Doodle Dandy. You know what I think is weird? The song. Well, I mean, it's a musical too. Yankee Doodle Dandy. I never knew what that. I never understood what any of those 3 words meant. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go up to people and I'm gonna be like, "How you doing? I'm Tom. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy." What does that even really mean? Does anyone really know what that means? I'm a Yankee. Like, you're just singing the song.
I don't know. It says, why was Yankee Doodle a dandy? Just looked it up. It says in 1755, a British doctor named Richard Shuckburgh penned a new words to mock his American allies. He portrayed the colonists as rude, crude, and cowardly. In the song, Shuckburgh referred to the American fighter as a doodle, a country hick, and a dandy, a conceited jerk. So it's a negative connotations, even though it sounds.
Oh, what'd you say this guy's name was?
Shuckburgh.
Shuckburgh?
Yeah. Yep.
Shuckburgh? We're taking the Saints. That sounds awfully close to Shuck.
That's true. That's a sign. There it is.
That's it. Take the Saints after that. Shuck is going to be a Yankee Doodle Dandy in this game. Afterwards, we'll show him who the real Doodle is. I've lost my freaking mind. I appreciate you guys putting up with me and my nonsense.
The 5.5 was at the Westgate 18-week bettable games in August. Saints have performed as expected to date. Panthers have performed better, and we all knew what the schedule would be. Yeah, so Andy's saying that it was 5.5, even though people thought the Panthers would suck, and yet the line's still 5.5, which is a little weird.
I would say I would agree, Andy, to the extent that you say the Saints are performing as expected. Certainly by the metric of their record, but I think that they've definitely exceeded my expectations, at least. Like, they've played hard. I've had them on my Super Contest card on the MyBookie contest. Like, when they played the Bills, I had them against the Giants. I don't know. They've played better than I thought they would, especially with all their, given their deficiencies. Ask Mrs. Yankee Doodle. Yeah, my compliments to Mrs. Boyardee.
That's a chef at the White House. It's a big
yeah. Oh, hey, Parrot. Thank you.
Thank you, Parrot, for the 199 super chat. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Any more
thank you.
Quacky nonsense and his favorite game?
Oh, be careful what you wish for, man. But
So wait, is this your favorite game? The Saints?
it is now after the whole Yankee Doodle Dandy bit and the Shuckburg.
Shuckburg.
No,
It's
I
funny.
think it is. If you're looking, I know that some of the guys are always, or it seems, and I'm flattered, since I've been pretty good at picking some upsets so far this season. I know that some people are looking for the upsets. I would say that this is probably my upset pick. I would be careful. I know Evan said he was thinking about taking them for Survivor, and they may very well win, but I'd be cautious a little bit. I think the Saints could pull this one out. I love the spot. I really love the spot. So.
Okay. All right. We will put the Saints on the card. On
And then if I'm wrong, you can come back here and chuck virtual vegetables at me.
Yeah, those are worse than the real vegetables. At least you get to eat them. You can't eat the virtual vegetables.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or feel them.
Right. All right. So let's get to my favorite pick of the week, which is Lions -8 over the Redskins. Or as you call them, the Washington Hockey Club. I think that what I was really waiting for with the injury report was would Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker play. Penei Sewell does not have an injury designation. That's huge news. Taylor Decker is questionable. He was DMP, limited DMP, but he's played this year after being DMP 3 times. So I think it's like 50-50 at this point if Decker plays. But I just needed one of the tackles to play. Like I didn't want to have Chargers situation where both tackles are out and they can't block at all. Not that the Redskins have any sort of pass rush with Doris Armstrong out and some others. Detroit, having Sewell is just a huge deal here. As I've been saying all week, this is the perfect spot of, the perfect marriage of like spot and matchup. Matchup wise, the Lions should be able to dominate on both sides of the ball. Redskins can't stop anything. And the Lions have a great offense. Washington, especially, very slow linebackers. So Detroit can attack over the middle of the field with Laporta and St. Brown. So they should be able to dominate there. And then Detroit's defense against Marcus Mariota. Detroit has the number 1 EPA defense in the NFL. So anytime you get a backup quarterback against a top 10 defense, you usually have to fade them. Obviously, there could be circumstances that say they can't do it otherwise. But as a general rule, that you have to do it. And then the spot, Detroit coming off a loss here, a divisional loss at home, no less. And this is playoff revenge too for the losing as the number 1 seed to Washington. So everything says to take Detroit. And the line's low. I made this line 13.5. So I can't find, now that Sewell is healthy, I can't find a reason to take Washington at all. And I don't know. I just can't do it. So how do you feel about this game?
Oh, I don't really have anything to add. This is also one of my favorite plays of the week.
Okay.
I don't have much else to say. You said it all, and I didn't even really think about it until later on in my thought process when looking at this game about the playoff revenge angle. But I think this is going to be the Lions winning in a romp, especially coming off the loss that they had against Minnesota last week. I can't imagine them not bouncing back. Dan Campbell coach team.
Yeah,
they're definitely going to want to stick this one to them. So, let's go ahead and put it on.
Dan Campbell is excellent off a loss. He is I'm pulling it up now. He is off a loss. He is 21-9 against the spread off a loss. So definitely better to be on that side than the other side. Let's see. Yes, Trish went easy. Glad to hear you guys agree. Also, where else can you pick Carolina and the Survivors this week or never? Well, they play at New Orleans later. You could do that. I don't think home field matters much in the NFL. They do have those home road splits, but I don't think that matters that much. But you don't have to pick Carolina. You don't have to pick every team. Actually, I had an idea for an NFL game where you have to pick each team to win once all year. And you could do it whenever you want. This might be the week you pick Carolina, for example, if you didn't do it earlier. Or if you like the Saints, this could be your week to pick the Saints. And then you could do obviously you can't do 32 teams because then you would lose. But you could do 16 in week 1 if you wanted to guess all of them. You could pick one team at any time to win. And then you just you tally up how many out of 32 you get by the end of the year. So I thought that would be fun. So, but really in real Survivor, you don't need to do you don't need to pick the Panthers at all. So, and we're already halfway through. It's not like this is week 1 or week 2.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Parrot saying, does it bother you that Detroit has like all the money on them? Typically, that does bother me because I'm contrarian by trade, but not in this instance. I don't know. I love the spot for Detroit too, coming off a loss. I think this could be a pretty easy. This could be a romp. Maybe take Detroit minus 13. Yeah.
No, 20.5 for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I feel that's strong about it. I don't care about the money. The public has taken such a big beating this year. The public has been slaughtered. Like it's not funny how much money the public has lost this year. In publicly bet sides this year, the public is what are they? I have it right here. They are 13-27. Wow. I feel like the books have won enough. they can give a little bit back.
What do you when you say publicly back sides? You're talking like 60% or more, or just
70% or more.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, they're 13-24. The public has been awful. The public has been awful this year. So, what is the straight up after a loss? He is surprisingly 16-13 straight up. Obviously, he's been an underdog in many of those games. Because if you think about it, what the Lions haven't lost many times recently. When they did do their losing, it was when they were not a good team, but they would cover these big spreads because people would not respect them very much. But the fact that they were underdogs in most of those games, the fact that they were 16-13 is pretty good. Their average line in those games coming off a loss is plus 1.7. So they were lined as underdogs more often than favorites. So that would explain that being 16-13 when you're mostly underdogs. I think that's pretty impressive. So
the only argument I can make for the commanding hockey team is, okay, like the Vikings just brought in a new quarterback after they had a poor performance from the guy who was playing, and they won. But this is night and day from Carson Wentz to JJ McCarthy, and then now we have I don't know.
Yeah,
to Mariota, from Jane Daniels to Mariota here. I just can't, and their defense is so bad. That was that game against Seattle. That was that's one of those games. It's over before it even got started.
Paris asked. Sorry, go, what were you saying?
No, they had absolutely no chance. So
yeah. Paris asking, what if you do after the first year? Okay, after Dan Campbell's first year, he has lost 17 games. After those 17 games, he's 13-4 straight up, 13-4 against the spread. The average line in those games was minus 2.4. So there you go. Wow. It's great record there. So 3-3 and 13-1 was the year before Campbell. Lions were 9-8 in his first year. Yeah, they were. Is that true?
I thought they did have one bad season, Andy.
I thought they started poorly and then they were covering at the end. I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. Because Dan Campbell's first year was 2021. So what were they in 20? I could just type it in right now. What was they in 2021? They were 3-13, but they were 11-6 against the spread. And I remember Dan Campbell's first game ever was the Niners. Remember that Niners game in week 1 where they were they were 9.5 point home underdogs, and the Niners were up like 1 million points, and then the Lions came back and covered the spread. I remember
that. I
remember being so tilted by that. Anything that Dan Campbell was hired in 2022. I don't. When was Dan Campbell hired? It says January 2021 he was hired. That's both Google and Wikipedia both say 2021 he was hired. So I think 2021 was first year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It is. And then 2022 is when you could really tell they were on the come up. They went 9-8.
That was that was the year that they lost. They won against the Packers game, but it didn't matter because they're already eliminated because of the Seahawks. I remember that was the year we bet the Lions to win the Super Bowl at 100-1. And then we bet them again the next year, and the next year that looked great because they were 40-1, and then they lost. They lost in the NFC Championship after they had a 17-point lead.
You
So
know, I'm a Packers fan, but no game has hurt me. And
mhm.
I swore off the sports depression in 2014 or January 2015 when the Packers lost that NFC Championship game to Seattle. That
Yeah,
was the last time I felt like sports depression. But I had the Lions that year that they lost the NFC Championship to the 49ers. That one hurt, man. That one really hurt
yeah.
me because it was like I had a good bit on Detroit before the season to win the Super Bowl, and it's like not only like was it going to be a huge payout, but it's like that's like something you can tell your kids. It's like this has been like the worst organization in like football for ages.
Hmm.
And like, I picked them to like win the Super Bowl before the season. They did. Man, I really thought we had that one pegged. That one
Yeah,
hurt. That one hurt. And I didn't even think I was feeling I did hedge because I think they lost by what 3. They backdoored it and we had them in that game, so I was able to hedge, but and that
yeah.
way.
It's crazy that they were up by 17 and they had a
Oh,
backdoor. They had a backdoor at the end, wasn't it? Like,
yeah. That one hurts. I remember what was uh I can't even think of who the receiver was for San Francisco. It bounced
Ayuk,
off. Yeah,
Ayuk.
okay, yeah, it was Ayak. Yeah, it
Yeah,
bounced off the Detroit player's
yeah.
head and just like fell.
Hmm.
Everything went wrong. It was just an epic meltdown. That one freaking hurt, man.
Yeah,
That one
it's
really
brutal.
hurt.
Yeah, it was brutal. I hear you. Okay, so so that was a game I brought up. What is your next game or your favorite game if you haven't if it wasn't the Saints?
Oh, let's see what else we got here.
And we already have 3 definites on the card
Oh
so far,
wow,
so
okay.
we're off to a good start.
Yeah, we really are. That's good news for the home team here. Oh, you want to take the Giants, huh?
No, don't.
What?
Tell me more about the Giants here. They are 4.5 point underdogs at Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not sold. I'm just not sold on the Bears yet. Holy cow, man! I had it wasn't on a super. I have a couple super contest cards, and it's one I have a joint entry with a coworker. But I had the Bengals on my one of the super contest cards, and I was so mad when Colston Loveland scored that touchdown last week. I was like, come on.
Mhm.
'Cause I figured, yeah, because Cincinnati was +3. Oh, I know you had the Bears on your card.
I had the Bears. Yeah, I needed it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just let me bring up the Bears schedule if I'm able here. They've just they could so their record could so easily be at least 3-5, if not 2-6. But they're 5-3 now, right?
um, yeah, they're 5-3. Yeah, they're 5-1 since they lost their first 2 games. So
Yeah,
they've been better. They've been better recently.
I don't know. They lost to that banged up Ravens team too, though. I don't know. I think everyone obviously the Giants are in a really bad spot without Scatterbo. I mean, you know, they don't have Scatterbo now. They don't have Neighbors. They don't really have that many weapons. I don't know. Maybe Tracy hasn't looked good, but he did look okay last year. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not really like after like some bad performances, not gonna like really throw in the towel on him necessarily yet. I don't know. I really like the spot for the Giants. I can't believe I'm saying that about a team that's 2-7, but I think the Bears win this one by a field goal. Um, I really like the fight in this Giants team. I like the spot. I would say I like this game a good bit. I don't love it, but it sounds like we're not going to agree anyway. But
So I want to refute the one thing you said about that banged up Ravens team. That Ravens team is completely healthy except for Lamar Jackson. They were just missing Jackson. So
is that right? Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong game then. Okay.
yeah. So Huntley had a solid game. And as again, like anytime you have a backup quarterback against a non-top 10 defense, then they're going to perform well for unless the team around them absolutely sucks. So I thought that I remember we both were on Chicago at +6.5 because it was Lamar Jackson was ruled out. But the night before, we were agreed that Baltimore was the right side at -6.5. So we changed our pick completely because of Lamar Jackson news. So that one stung, But
Yeah.
anyway, I think that the Bears are playing better recently. However, I plan on taking the Bears perhaps in my entries, but I really did not like what I saw in the injury report with TJ Edwards out, the linebacker for the Bears. He's their best healthy player. Or at least he was. Jalen Johnson, their top corner, he's been out. So I would say he's their best defensive player. But like Edwards has been their best healthy defensive player. And if like, so he's played since week 6. They had the bye in week 5. He's played since week 6. The last time he missed a game was week 4, and that was the game where Ashton Genty had his best game. He had like 160 yards or something on the ground. No Edwards means the Bears can't stop the run. The Bears have actually been good against the run, and this is it's funny because like Evan and I had we were talking about this game last night, and Evan mentioned that the Bears were bad against the run, and I was like no, actually the Bears are 9th against the run, and I think that he was remembering that Genty game when Edwards is out. So like when Edwards has missed games, the Bears have been awful against the run, but when he's played, they've been really good against the run. So like that is just a big difference there for the Bears. So that's a big deal. I didn't like seeing that, especially because this game is looking like there's potential snow and heavy winds, and so I think I would say if the Bears had a good run defense, if they had Edwards on the field, they'd be able to stop the run that the Giants have, and they'd be able to run all over the Giants because the Giants have the second worst run defense in the NFL. But if you take that away, if you allow the Giants to have some success on the ground, then that kind of equals it out. And it just the weather nullifies Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze and DJ Moore. Like the Bears obviously have a better passing game than the Giants do. The Giants have no passing game because they have no receivers. Sorry, I know little Jordan Humphrey's there, but look,
secret weapon.
But they have no passing game ever since Cam Scatabo got hurt. Like Scatabo was doing stuff out of the backfield, and before that, Malik Neighbors got hurt in week 4. Without those two guys, they can't get anything through the air. So I thought the bad weather didn't really affect the Giants at all. But now it affects the Bears because it takes away the passing game. And like I said, if the Bears can't stop the run, then the Giants should be able to at least keep the ball and maybe prevent the Bears from covering. So given the weather and the injury to Edwards, I am just going to pass on the game. But I still would take the Bears. I think the Giants without Scatabo and Neighbors, they're just an awful team. They ever since they lost Scatabo, they've gotten killed in their 2 games. They got blown out by the Niners. They got blown out by the Eagles. In fact, when Scatabo got injured in that Eagles game, I live bet the Eagles right away.
I did too because of your tweet actually.
Yeah. It was just an obvious play. They can't do anything because if they had Neighbors, it wouldn't matter as much. But no Neighbors, no Scatabo. There's no skill players. Like
huge emotional loss too.
Right too. Yeah, I mean,
he's such a big part of their spirit. You could see it obviously any teammate that gets hurt, but you could really see it on Dart's face, what a huge loss it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so, it was so
deflating.
No,
you're right. It
was so deflating for them. So, so we disagree on this one, so we can maybe pass on it. Kevin Kovac, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Kevin. Once again, the Giants would run through a wall for Scatabo. I think they would leave the ball out to dry, though. Probably, I agree with that. Also, Ben Johnson might be a coach. Yeah. Look, the Bears started poorly. Week 1. It was Ben Johnson's first game. You would understand any first-time coach struggling week 1. And then week 2 was a short week against Detroit. So an angry Detroit team that got blown out. So you could understand those 2 losses. But again, after that, they've been 5-1. They've won some games by double digits. Yeah, some games have been close. They could have lost the Raiders. They could have lost to the Redskins. But overall, I think they are doing better. But again, the loss of Edwards here is just a big deal because they don't have much on defense, and he was kind of is like the glue keeping everything together. Like he's not there anymore. It's kind of rough. So, Giants can't. And Andy's right. The Giants have the 31st ranked run defense in the NFL. The Bengals are the only team worse. And we know the Bears can run. They can run with Monangai or Swift. We don't know if Swift's going to play. Apparently, he's questionable with a family issue, so hopefully everything's okay there. But yeah, either way, even if Swift's out, doesn't matter. Monangai showed that he's a good running back, and he should be able to help the Bears run all over this horrible Giants run defense. So
okay. Well, maybe I'll think twice about that one. I was thinking about maybe. Kind of what I should have done, kind of what I was thinking about doing last week, because there were a few teams where I said I really liked the spots for them, but that was kind of my only, or maybe not necessarily my only reasoning, but maybe my biggest reason. And the Giants are one of them. The Saints are another one, which we've already talked about, and I'll bring up another one with my next pick. I know it's your turn, but. I don't know. I might was not going to make our card. I wonder if it's going to make my bookie super contest card. I'll have to see what I'm getting there. I'll consider it, but just based on spot mostly.
Well, why don't you just bring it up now, and then I'll go twice after.
Okay. How about yeah, okay. So why? I mean, Davis Mills is starting for the Texans, right? Why is this line plus 1.5? I don't know, man. I like the Texans here. This is just. I mean, I'm not saying I want to put it on the card, but this seems like a weird spot. And the Texans. I know they lost earlier this season, but the Texans tend to always beat the Jags. I feel like, and I took the Raiders. Like, I don't think especially I don't think Brian Thomas Jr. is playing now, right?
Yeah, he's out. Hunter's out, but they did trade for Jacoby Myers. So I don't know how much of the playbook he knows, but he's a smart guy. He can catch passes. He doesn't drop any passes, I should say. So
yeah,
at least
I didn't drop any passes either. It doesn't mean he's going to be doing any. I don't know, and I like Myers, but I'm just saying, like, this Jaguars team is not that. It's not very good. I had the Raiders on my on as one of my card selections last week, plus 2.5 against the Jags. I don't know. This team just let the freaking Raiders put 29 on them. I know the Texans' offensive line is bad, but like this line seems weird. I don't know. I thought this would be a little more. I like the Texans here. I think this is a weird spot. This line gives me weird vibes. It's kind of it smells a little fishy to me. So what do you think? I'm not in love with the Texans, but this line looks weird to me.
So I'm not in love with this game. I liked it more earlier in the week. But Houston has two their offensive line is already bad. They have two, I would say, like, sort of major offensive line issues here, injuries. And I say sort of because these guys are like, this unit is not good. So it's kind of weird to say it, but their best pass protector is Titus Howard. He's out. Their best run blocker is Ed Ingram. He's out. So they're missing both their best pass protector and their best run blocker. But the Jaguars' pass rush isn't that good. They're in the middle of the pack. They have Josh Hines Allen. I can't remember. I'm always get confused. So it's like, is it Josh Allen Hines or Josh Hines Allen? I could never get that straight. Either way, like, he's their only productive pass rusher. Trayvon Walker had a great start to the year, but he's done nothing like the past month or something. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury, but he just hasn't played well since week 3. So the Jaguars have nothing and no one to get after the quarterback. But Houston's line without those two guys is going to be even worse than usual. I would still like Houston, though. Jacksonville can't block either. They've allowed the 8th most pressures in the NFL. We know Houston can get after the quarterback. And again, like, anytime you get a backup quarterback who doesn't play for an awful team against a non-top 10 defense, and Jaguars are ranked 21st in the NFL, they usually do pretty well. And yet you could look at last week's result. Davis Mills actually had a decent first half, but then second half he was atrocious. But that's against Denver's defense. Like, you wouldn't expect Davis Mills to play well against Denver's defense. I would expect Davis Mills to be at least somewhat functional against Jacksonville, because Jacksonville can't really stop anyone. Now they get Devin Lloyd back, which is nice. But, like, look, the Raiders, who scored 7 points against the Broncos, they had what, 30 or 31 against the Raiders? Against the Jaguars. So who's to say that Davis Mills can't score 17, 20 points? And if that happens, then I think Houston wins the game. I like Houston a little bit, but what bothers me is those two offensive line injuries. If you're okay with it, if you still like Houston enough, despite those injuries, I could put them on the card.
I mean, we can keep it in the maybe pile. I'm not, in love with it. Again, this is just another one that I think is an interesting spot. But I don't know. This is just from the eye test, and maybe you have data that can prove me wrong. But I feel like the backup quarterback that like comes in mid game and has a bad performance tends to do a little bit better the second time around. Obviously, there's going to be some exceptions, but I don't know. Maybe that's just from the eye test. I mean, Mills has like a full week now to prepare with knowing that he's going to be the starter. I know that I'm not going to put a ton of stock in that.
Mm-hmm.
And, not often, but there have been times where he's shown that he's a decent backup. I just don't think like you said that, they were playing against Denver last week too. Like the Jags defense just had a horrible, I mean, think about how inept the Raiders were. Now, granted, they got Brock Bowers back for that game against the Jaguars, but I mean, they still gave up 29 points. I mean, that team looked inept has looked inept for several weeks on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, this could be like a 17-16 game. I think. So I don't know. I think this is going to be very close. I could even see we're getting 1.5. I could even see that coming. Like I said, I think I could see this like 17-16. Maybe the 1.5 would get us there.
Yeah, it could do that for sure. I made this line. Want to make this line? I made Houston -1.5. So I think the wrong. That's with Stroud being out. So I think that. I think that the wrong team is favored in this game. So, do you want to put it maybe pile or definite? So
let's put it in the maybe pile. It's also because I mean they're down there too. Well, I don't know if I'd say Hunter just hasn't been used that well, but two of their most, I guess, receivers that are the most exciting to watch, and Brian Thomas Jr. and Hunter. So it's just like, what do you really have now? It's like, okay, Jacoby Myers, like he hasn't even played with the team yet, barely.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know from that side of the ball, like, and the Texans obviously have a strong defense. Like, I think maybe they could hold them to like 16 or 17 points. In which case, I think they'll probably cover.
And this is not as significant, but it adds up. There's number 2 pass catching tight end is also out because the number 1 pass catching tight end has been out on IR, Brenton Strange. The number 2 pass catching tight end, Hunter Long, is also out in this game. So they also are missing him in addition to everyone else. Yeah. Hunter and IR. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. It sounds like we like Houston, but don't love Houston, but maybe they make the card. So let's keep going here. So I have 2 picks to make here. Let's go chronologically. I love Seattle this week. There's curious that they're 6.5. They're trending upward to 7. I don't know why they just fell to 6.5, but I still like them here. So first of all, with the injury report, Arizona missing 2 of their starting cornerbacks, which seems like a problem against Jackson Jigba. And now that they got Rashid Shaheed, Torrey Horton unfortunately is going to be out, but Cooper Kupp may come back. Not that he's a big factor, but this is a Seattle team that completed their first 17 passes last week. So not having 2 starting cornerbacks is going to be an issue. Also, as I talked about, backup quarterbacks against the non-top 10 defenses can do well, but backup quarterbacks against elite defenses like Seattle's number 5 defense, they tend to really struggle. It's like a 30% cover rate. It's like really bad. Jacoby Brissett has benefited from not having played a top 12 defense yet this year. He played the Packers. The Packers are 14th. Played the Colts. Colts are 15th. The Cowboys, we know how dreadful they are defensively. He hasn't had a very difficult matchup yet since taking over as the starter, and this is his first one. Not only that, the Cardinals have to play in a short week. Teams coming up Monday Night Football this year are 8-15 against the spread. Now they're usually not that bad, but they're usually like 46, 47%. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they're usually it's usually a losing proposition, but not enough to bet it blindly because the VIG, the VIG can beat you. But for some reason, it's worse than usual this year, and it's not a big sample size, but it is worse than usual this year. And I don't know, if that's legit or not. But the fact is that Arizona is traveling on a short week, and they have to prepare for a team they have not beaten in a long time. Seattle's beaten Arizona in 8 straight meetings, and in 6 of those meetings, Seattle's won by a touchdown or more. So that obviously that would cover the spread at 6.5, and what is in the circa? It's 6.5. So, I like Seattle a lot. They're my 3rd favorite pick this week. What are your thoughts on this game?
I'm hesitant to say this. I don't have a huge, a really strong feeling on either side, but I'm kind of leaning towards the Cardinals. Actually, they really haven't played bad lately. I mean, especially and Brissett. Look, we've seen him do well in the past as a backup, but I mean, we look at their. I mean, okay, they won Monday night. They played really. I mean, they were definitely in their the 2 games before that against both Green Bay and the Colts, and that was
Yeah.
and Brissett was playing in both of those. So I don't know. I'm also looking at the Seahawks, who could be looking ahead to the Rams the following week. That's going to be a big game for them, as opposed to, and yeah, okay, so this is still a division game, so you could counter with that. But the Cardinals need to win this game. Like they're already there's a lot of good teams in their division already. Like if they want to do anything this season, this is kind of do or die for them. I think 6.5 looks a little easy, especially after the absolute clinic that Seattle put down. I don't know. I'm just kind of apprehensive. It's like, I don't want to ride this high on Seattle, where I'm not saying, I know I said they were frauds last week. I'm exaggerating slightly just because I don't like the Seahawks, but I don't know. 6.5. The only thing that I mean, it seems a little too easy for me here, but it's hard for me to back the Cardinals. I feel like they've hosed us so many times. It would probably be Cardinals or nothing for me here.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I will point out, you mentioned the Colts and Packers games. I think they're different than this one because Seattle's defense is a lot better than those two defenses. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what Sauce Gardner does with the Colts. But I mean, obviously they didn't have him back then. What is the Cardinals' ATS record? Let me look that up.
The last 3.
Yeah. I mean, they could have won every game this year that they've played. The Cardinals' ATS record this year's 5-3 against the spread. So sequentially, they covered against the Saints. They lost the spread against the Panthers, which, again, 4th and 16 to Bryson Tremaine beat us. Okay, great. They covered against the 49ers with the safety, the BS safety. That shouldn't have been called a safety because the holding was out of the end zone. Then they lost ATS 2 in a row to the Seahawks and the Titans, of course, in that horrible game. I still can't get over that one. But they've covered their last 3 against the Colts, Packers, and Cowboys. So Brissett's 3-0 against the spread.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll consider Atlanta. Yeah, I can't. It's the animal teams, man. I can't get them off the brain. More Battle of the Birds. Yeah. We got Battle of the Birds here. I think I'd lean Cardinals here. Maybe they'll make one of my cards.
See, this is why Battle of the Birds is not special, because these teams play each other twice per year. It's not a thing like Battle of the Horses. Sometimes you don't get a Battle of the Horses.
Yeah, exactly. You have to commemorate it with a new hat every year.
It's special, yeah.
The last 3 Battle of the Horses have been really memorable. Remember that Thursday night game? What was the final? It was like
12-9.
12-9 or something. Yeah. Oh, that was horrible. That was Russell Wilson's first year in Denver.
There's a reason why it's the most anticipated game of the year.
It's true. There's always something. You can always count on something crazy happening.
Yeah. Kevin, $10 super chat. Thanks again.
Hey,
once again. Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate it. I missed the show with Andy, but I did listen the next day. I appreciate his perspective on the After Dark show. Good to see you 3, and good luck this week. Good luck to you too, Kevin. Thank you so much. I love having you guys on. Like, you guys all bring different perspectives. It would be I think a little boring if I was just talking to myself for 2 hours in a row for 3 straight days. I do a short video as to, for people who don't want to watch 2 or 3 or sometimes 4-hour live streams. So I'll post like a 13 to 15 minute video just talking quickly about it. But no, it's always great because you guys all have different perspectives. You guys have different ways of handicapping games, and I think like it just factor everything in. You can do pretty well. So you guys are awesome. If I didn't like what you guys had to say, I wouldn't have you guys in the show. So, it's.
I appreciate that. There's probably people that they hear my perspective and think I'm nuts. Well, you know what? I've done all right though. I've had a pretty good year actually.
Yeah.
Because my other super contest card is 28 and 17. I'm not doing too bad.
No, you're really good at identifying spots and stuff like that, and
Oh,
also
thank you.
the knowing when to be contrarian, because you can't be contrarian all the time. Like it's kind of foolish. But I feel like you have like a sense of when to be contrarian. I
I
think
appreciate that.
that's a real, I don't think most people don't know how to do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
case in point, Quacky's called some incredible upsets this
Oh,
season. Yeah,
thank you, Kevin. Hey, I try, man. I try.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'll say the Saints. I like the Saints plus 5.5 for those who are listening, because I know Parrot was enjoying the upsets too. That'll be my call for the upset this week. So
Yeah.
hey, wow, I can't believe it. Yeah, I was sometimes I feel a little shy on the show because it's like I hear Andy, your show with Andy, and it's like you guys know your stuff so well, and then Evan comes on and you guys know everything, and it's like I'm come on, it's like it's just for laughs, and like and
No,
then
you know your stuff. Don't sell your story. You know your stuff. Like, come on,
well,
man.
well, sort of. Not like you guys know the X's and O's like so well. I see. I go mostly by feel in the eye test, but I mean, I have paid probably more attention to I mean, yeah, I look at stats and stuff too, of course. But you guys are much more in the know. So like fantasy football, and like if you want like the technical breakdown, like the other guys are better. But this is our show is always a little bit different. We have a great time. I love hanging out. I appreciate everyone who's joining too. We have a great time with you. It's
Yeah.
something I look forward to every week. So
Yeah. We the nonsense is fun to talk about too. I call it nonsense, but I really enjoy talking about it. Like the restaurant stuff that we were talking about.
oh yeah, there's so many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
speaking of like restaurants, the other thing I wanted to bring up, I can't stand when they have like menu items with just like dumb names, like I'll take the Riptide River Rock and mozzarella sticks or something, like I don't want to say like just get me the mozzarella sticks, or I'll point to it like give me. I'm not going to say the Riptide Mountain Rock, and I don't know. I'm just pulling that out of thin air, but I don't know. I feel strange saying the weird item names,
Yeah, if it
just
sounds
go
like
get.
juvenile,
I just
yeah,
want a regular freaking chicken burger. Like
I
why they
know.
got to be like Big Bird Delight or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we go to Red Robin once a month, and that's we were like, what? Why? It's well, you have to when you have two kids. Yeah, I think and especially in this economy, you have to figure out like where the good deals are. And at Red Robin, the first Wednesday of each month, the kids eat free. So we go there the first Wednesday of each month, and I know because I love Red Robin. But like they have on their menu, they don't have mozzarella sticks; they have mozzarella twists.
Oh wow, they're getting twisty with
The
it.
twist,
Okay.
and they are actually twisty. They look
Oh,
like
wow.
one of those twisty straws. Like you still should call them mozzarella sticks. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it sounds better to some people. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it really catches your attention.
Yeah, and also the thing I hate more is when you go to like an Italian restaurant. I love Italian food, but if you go to an Italian restaurant and like most of the stuff is in Italian, they
Oh
do it
yeah.
for sure. I was like, come on, man, I don't know any of these words.
Yeah.
Pisca, whatever is fish or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything
Anti-pasta.
else. And
Appetizers, anti-pasti, or what
yes,
is it?
it's the opposite
Right?
of pasta.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm anti-pasta. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
don't bring that here.
It's like anti-dentite from Seinfeld.
Yeah, yeah. I
Anti-pasta.
thought that when I first saw that, what is it I'm saying it wrong, but it's spelled like anti-pasti.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, and I know to everyone watching, I know I'm pronouncing it terribly, but I'm trying to say it phonetically. I remember when I first saw it as a kid, it's like, why would they be anti-pasta here at an Italian place? And I was like, oh, okay, that's an Italian.
It's the contrarian Italian restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant with no pasta.
Yeah, yeah, that's what makes them special. All these restaurants, everyone's got to be unique. Everyone's got to
I
stand
know.
out somehow. That's where that's how they do it.
I know.
Take them how
madness.
they are, accept them as they are, Walter.
Yeah, look, we're in America. Just put the stupid menu in English. If you want to have the Italian word next to it, that's fine. But like,
Yeah.
don't have non-English words. I don't know these things. I actually like one
Yeah.
time I can't remember which restaurant it was. It's like it's not a chain, so if I told you, you wouldn't know it. But like there was an Italian restaurant we went to. I couldn't read anything. I'm like, I had to ask the waiter. I'm like, what is this? And he's like, this. I'm like, oh, okay, what is this? Spent like 5 minutes, like, oh, what is this? I kept asking until I found something.
Did he turn his nose up at you? You uncultured swine! You mean you don't know how to read an Italian?
Yeah, sorry, I can't read Italian. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I'm married to an Italian woman. Like I can't read Italian.
I don't want to go to one of these like super fancy restaurants like that where it's like not saying that place is necessary, but like, it's like, oh, like you see, it's like we're going to like this Gordon Ramsay place. It's like $100 a plate. I don't know. I'm pulling this number out of thin air, and it's like the meal is just like aesthetically pleasing in a way, but that's like 3 bites for me.
I know.
The portions are so small. And then I'm gonna be like, tastes good, I guess. Like it's just not worth it to me. You could take me down to Cece's Pizza. I'll be thrilled, man.
I know.
I'll be freaking thrilled.
I'm a cheat date. I love nifty 50s here, or like, I can go to like Red Robin's fine, and Five Guys or Arby's. Like those are all great places to go.
Years ago, I picked up like, I've driven Uber on the side for over 10 years now. I hardly do it anymore, but at one point when I was in college, I did it like full time for about a year. It was a lot of fun. So I remember one time I picked up, as I often did, like a carload of, people that were going out, and it was like this group of, going out to the bars and whatnot.
Right.
And I picked up this group of girls, and this one girl was complaining about I guess some guy that she kind of liked asked her if she would go to Chipotle with him, like for lunch. And she was like, "Are you kidding me? Chipotle? That's where you're going to take me?" Let me tell you something. If someone invited me to Chipotle, I'd be so happy.
I don't even like
what an ungrateful, bee sting, man. That's what I say.
I don't like Chipotle. I actually did that move too. There's this girl that I was into her initially, but like she did something that really bothered me. Like we were at a bar and she spilled her drink, and I feel like, what would you do if you spilled your drink at a bar? Like you just spilled it all over the floor. Like, would you clean it up at all? Like, or
don't put me in these situations, man. What if I say the wrong thing and then you're going to judge me live in front of everyone?
All right, fine. Well,
I would let somebody know if it was like it. Actually, I don't know. One time I spilled a little bit of water at an In-N-Out burger, and I sprinted out of the store. I fled the scene. I got scared, but it wasn't much. It wasn't much at all.
Well, look, so someone handed her some napkins to clean it up. And she's refused. She's like, no, the help can get it. She's like, said it that way. I'm like, okay, this is like weird.
What was the scenario? Is this like a club scenario, or is this like a bar?
It was like a quiet bar. It was not like a crazy number of people there. It was.
Oh,
it was
okay. See, I'm like imagining like a loud, like kind of.
No. It was like a Tuesday night or something, and like we just happened to go out for some reason, and it was just a group of friends. We're like the only people there. There was probably like 12 people at the whole bar, and it was like a local place too, Wait, one of my friends knew the owner too, so
you oh wow, okay, so you're saying they gave her like napkins or paper towels or something, and then
she refused it. She's like, no, the help can get it.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that. If they gave it to me, I would do it. Where did she spill it? On the bar or on the floor?
On the floor.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think if they gave me napkins, I would still like. Yeah. I would still. Yeah, I would help wipe it up. Of course, I would feel. I definitely wouldn't say no. The help can get it. That would be.
Yeah.
yeah. Seriously, you know what? I went to about a year and a half ago, I went out to dinner with a coworker, and she was like rude to the waiter. I even had to tell her, like, hey, freaking knock it off. She's like trying to order something that's not on the menu. Who does that? Why do you have to be difficult like that?
I know.
I mean, come on. She was like, can't you just put like spinach and chicken together? It's like, just order something off the menu that's already there like a normal freaking person.
I know.
I mean, come on. Why? It's just
that
like
happened.
Yeah, like
that happened in my wedding. That happened in my wedding, actually. And you were at my wedding. Like we had a lot of food, didn't we? Like we had a lot of variety. Oh, yeah. One girl was like, I was like, do you have chicken nuggets?
Chicken nuggets?
Not even like a teenager girl. She's my age. She's actually 1 month older than me. She and I've known her forever. We've been friends for a long time, but like. I could believe it. She's like, I don't like anything here. Can I have chicken nuggets? She asked one of the staff. It's like, come, like seriously, dude. Like we had so much food. Like
I know, yeah, you really did. Yeah. You should have had the dino shaped nuggets, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's seriously go there. Anyway, my point with that girl was, I asked her out the week before, and after she did that, I really didn't want to date her. Like she's, she's pretty, not like amazing. She's like, a little pretty. And then, so she actually texted me the day after or something. She's like, "Oh, are we still on for next week?" And I didn't like, I'm one to like never like break an obligation. Like I just never do it. And so I was like, but then I was like, you know what? I was like, let me just say this. I was like, let's go to IHOP. And she's like, IHOP? I'm like, yeah, let's go to IHOP. And so this is our first date that I took her to IHOP. And she complained to our mutual friend afterward.
That's right. I remember this now.
Yeah, and I'm like I want to go to IHOP, and I didn't really want to take her out on a serious date and like spend a lot of money on her. So I just took her to IHOP, and that was it. She was so offended by it, she didn't want to date me anymore.
If a girl, I mean, it's typically not done this way, as is tradition. Like, and at least, and I'd say the majority of like first dates, the guy is the one paying.
Yeah.
But like if a girl like offered me, it's like if she was like, "You want to go to Burger King and get a Whopper?" I'd, in a hypothetical, I'd be like, "Oh, like that's probably a keeper then." Like you can just be like yourself, like that, like this. But like this girl that I was getting back to that story about like same situation, the Chipotle, like she was so like what, like how dare you take me to Chipotle? It's just like, golly, man, I don't know. I'd be so happy if anyone did that for me.
Yeah, she this girl was like I said, the fact that she said the hell and then my friend, our mutual friend, told me afterwards. She's like, yeah, you really dodged the bullet there. I'm like, yeah, I know. She's like, well, you don't know the half of it. She's like, yeah, she's like, she thought it was cool that you run a football website. But she's like, oh, I really want Walt to get she said real job and with a suit and so in an office. Like what? Okay, yeah, just like okay, that's what I do full time, just to get a suit and go to an office. Yeah.
We should both wear suits on the show one of these nights with a tie. You love wearing a tie. You said,
no,
right?
I'm not wearing ties.
Oh yes, you will. You're either going to wear the tie or you're going to watch a WNBA game. You have no choice.
I think I'd watch WNBA as best. I
hate
ties so much.
Which would you choose?
The WNBA game.
Are you kidding me?
I hate ties so much. That's how much I hate ties.
I didn't
have ties at my wedding. Me and the groomsmen and I, we didn't have ties to the wedding. I refuse to wear a tie. I don't wear it, even if it's fancy schmancy place. I don't wear a tie. I just don't do it. I hate it.
I'm gonna start up
suffocating. I can't do it.
I mean, if you have the right fit, it shouldn't. I mean, I get what you're saying. That's happened to me where like I've had like a shirt that was like the collar was too tight, but that's my own, that's my own fault in those instances. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start a podcast and invite you on the podcast, but there's one requirement: you got to wear a tie. Would you come on the show, like for me?
I'm not wearing a tie. Sorry.
No, you have to on the show though.
I'm not.
It's like, so you wouldn't come on the show?
I'm not gonna wear a tie.
When's the last time you wore a tie?
Oof. I don't know. I think it was. Oh, you know what it was? It was the girl who ordered chicken nuggets in my wedding. It was her wedding. I wore a tie.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know why I did. I usually don't, but I think my wife talked me into it because the tie had matched her dress like really well, and she's like, "Come on, please wear it." Like whatever, fine. But like that was back in. That was during I remember it was during the 5th season of Game of Thrones because I remember that night was the Battle of Hardhome, which you haven't seen yet. So I'm telling you this. It doesn't mean anything to you, but that was the 5th season of Game of Thrones, which I think was 2016 or 2015. That was the last time I wore a tie. Wear a tie over a Speedo. I used to wear Speedos when I swung competitively, but yeah.
You should have worn a bow tie with the Speedo at one of the meets.
They will not actually. They will not allow
tie or necktie or what is it? Any ties?
No ties. Open collar look. It looks better. I like. Not only do I think ties are really uncomfortable, I actually think ties are very ugly. I don't understand why people wear them. I think they're hideous.
So you're anti-pasta and anti-tie.
Yes. I can't. I would prefer the anti-pasta, or I'd prefer, I guess, anti-tie over anti-pasta because I hate ties so much.
Anti-tie over anti-pasta.
Well, it's more of a bow tie, man. I've never tried it. I've never tried it.
What a bow tie.
Yeah. what are those what are those ties? The bolo ties. Maybe I
Oh,
should.
the bolo, yeah. Oh, you should.
I've
Yeah,
never
you need to
tried
get a
it. I don't
bolo.
know. I don't know how it feels, but maybe
No, you
I'd be
should
into
get
it.
it. Would you wear a bolo tie with a cowboy hat for about next year's Battle of the Horses if we get one? It could be they're
It,
both in first place. If they both win the division, there's going to be another Battle of the Horses next year for sure.
oh well, there could be one in the playoffs. Um,
Please, I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
I don't know. It depends how it feels. I don't have a bolo tie. I'd have to buy one. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll wear. I actually have plans. I've been thinking about the potential second Battle of the Horses and like what I have plans for it on the show. So
Oh, I can't wait. We'll
yeah.
coordinate something. That would be great. That would really be something special.
Yeah, for sure.
Special things happen on the show when the horses get together. You know.
I know it's legendary. It's
you remember like when people would tell you like at like the hallway at school, like no horseplay. Like what does that even?
Yeah, I know.
What is horseplay exactly? Like, just like jumping around and like. What would you?
I would assume so because like they
like there's some like physical, like you might be like bumping each other like playfully, but like, hey, no horseplay in here, you guys. Or like remember when people would be like, quit horsing around, like
horsing around, yeah.
You guys quit horsing around over there.
I looked it up. The term horseplay is called that because the word horse was used in the 16th century to mean strong, coarse, or large. Therefore, horseplay literally means strong play or coarse play, referring to rough and boisterous physical activity, which can also be an observation of how horses play with one another. So yeah, it kind of.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no. Chris knows horsing around. Yeah.
Yeah, horsing around.
You kids quit horsing around over there.
Yeah, I'll have to start saying it. I'll see how my kids react. Anyway,
Cassandra loves that because he loves talking about Battle of the Horses. If Cassandra's here, I don't know if he is.
I don't know. I don't know if Cassandra has not shown up in the chat yet. So
yeah. Luke Burrow, anti-tie.
Anti-tie. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if I've ever tried Thai food. Actually, I don't know if I'd like it.
I've had it a couple times. It's pretty good.
I don't like Chinese food. And
I don't
like
either.
Japanese food. So unless it's like hibashi's fine, but like I don't like sushi. That's what I mean by Japanese food.
Yeah. Well, I don't like Chinese food for like Americanized Chinese. Well, I don't like authentic Chinese food. I don't know. Just I don't hate it, but like I used to go to like Panda Express. That's not like real Chinese food, obviously.
Right.
But I mean that brand of Chinese food, if you will.
Right.
I don't know. Like I don't know. It's like you can smell the MSG or something. I just can't do it. That's the best way I can describe it. I can't do it anymore.
Horse sex.
I don't think
it's large and coarse sex. Oh yeah, I don't. It sounds fun actually. Both corners starts out for Arizona. Yeah, I mentioned that too. The two corners out against Seattle's receivers seems like very problematic. Yeah, I completely agree. You're missing out. I'm willing to give it a shot. I will not say no. Definitely to Thai food. I'll give it a shot at some point. Panda Express. Yeah.
Double orange chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it will not be. No, it will not be.
I have to see what the image comes up when I type in horse sex. I'm
very
scared to look.
I will delete my name from the internet.
I'm scared to look at like if I Google horse sex.
Don't look.
I don't want to look. I really don't.
Don't.
Anyway,
we cover it all in the show, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah. Who knows? We were talking about horse sex in restaurants and ties, anti-ties too.
Anti-ties. Yeah, what if you bought your necktie in Thailand? You're anti-tie ties.
Anti-tie.
We gotta check off all the boxes here. So
and if you didn't like the Thai food, anti-tie.
This is good. We get into it all. I'm so glad everyone's joined tonight. We have tonight and always. We have a great time with you guys. So
yeah, for sure. All right.
What do we got next? Is it your turn or is it my turn?
Well, I had two in a row that I was.
Two. Okay.
The Sunday night game. I'm very curious to hear your opinion on this one. Steelers at the Chargers. This line is 2.5. Unfortunately, in the contest, it's 2.5. So that might not put us on the Steelers. It is 3 in the Westgate Super Contest. So that's a big deal. Obviously 3 is the most prominent result of any NFL game. But I like the Steelers here. The Chargers are a completely different team without Joe Alt. Like Joe Alt, no Joe Alt, no Rashawn Slater. And as a bonus, they're without their third best tackle, Bobby Hart. So the top three tackles are out in the 4 games in which Joe Alt missed earlier this season. They lost to the Giants and I count that because he got hurt on the 8th play of the game. Then they get blown out by the Redskins at home. Then they barely beat the Dolphins. Now they were up 13 in the fourth quarter, but they were trailing by 1 at the very end. And then they get blown out by the Colts. And then last week they lose Joe Alt in the second quarter, and they beat the terrible Titans by 7 points. So this is how the Chargers have done without Joe Alt and without Rashawn Slater, and now without Bobby Hart too. And that they have to go against TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith and the rest of the Steeler pass rush. Like, it seems like a very difficult matchup here for the Chargers. Also, this is going to be like 80% Steelers in the stadium. The Chargers have no fans. The Steelers travel better than any other team. And for what it's worth, the last 2 times the Steelers went into San Diego / LA, they won these games straight up. Also, Mike Tomlin, as an underdog, he covers about 65% of the time. As an underdog coming off a win, he's actually pretty good too. He's 33-21 against the spread in that situation. So I like everything here about the Steelers except their offense against the Chargers defense. Chargers defense ranks 6th. I don't really trust what the Steelers are doing offensively, but I think Rodgers can do enough to get the win in a close game. I can't imagine this is like being high scoring or anything. I feel like this is like 20-17, 23-20, and like the Steelers either pushing 3 or winning, or I feel like the 2 most likely results of this game are Steelers by 3 or Chargers by 3 in some order. So I like the Steelers here. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I like the Steelers here too. This Chargers team, I mean, they have really lost. I understand the injuries, especially with Joe Alt, but I mean, come on. Well, I actually had the Giants money line in this game, but they lose to the Giants. They lost at home to the freaking Commanding Hockey Club. I mean, are you freaking joking me? They've almost lost to the Dolphins, 38-24 against the Colts. Yeah, it's the Colts, but it wasn't even that close. Mm-hmm. They've had like one super impressive win, and that was against Minnesota Thursday night against an ailing Carson Wentz. They had absolutely no chance in that game, and then they can't even cover versus Tennessee. I mean, no, like I don't know. Like I think like the Pittsburgh defense seems like it's clicking a little bit. Yeah, they were the beneficiary of a bunch of turnovers this past week, but I don't know. I think this Steelers team is better than most think. I don't really trust the Chargers that much. You really don't know what you're going to get. I suppose you could say the same thing about the Steelers, but I like him here as the underdog. I also like, as you said, the fans are probably going to travel well. I really like Pittsburgh here as well.
How much do you like them? Definite or maybe on the card?
Yeah, let's put them on the card. We can do it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We have our 4th team. You are up with the next pick. Drew saying, wouldn't be surprised if this game Herbert force feeds Gadsden because the Steelers defense is a lot. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why Gadsden's played so well. I agree with that. All right. Who do you have next? What's our next game here?
Oh, God, I guess we'll talk about the Packers game. Don't listen to me on the Packers. This is another year maybe where you do the opposite of what I say with Green Bay. God, man. I mean, at least at the beginning of the year, I was kind of on top of – I was doing all right handicapping them at the beginning of the year, but I'm zigging and zagging at the wrong times here. This line doesn't make any damn sense to me. Why are the Eagles plus 2.5? This seems like an easy win for them. Now, granted, Green Bay, I like the spot because I don't think they're going to lay an egg again. They're probably looking ahead to this game. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But so I also feel like when teams underperform in a spot where they're maybe looking ahead, they tend to, just from the eye test, tend to do better in that game they were looking ahead to. But this, I don't know. I think this should be like Eagles minus 2.5. They lost Tucker Kraft. This offense is so inconsistent. This team is so unpredictable. I can't stand it as a fan. It's just like you don't know what you're going to get. They're not built strong enough. It's maddening to watch as a fan. I like the Eagles here, but it seems way too easy. Sorry, I really got into it there. We gotta spice it up a little bit here. What do you think, Walt?
Evan and I have this on our card. I don't I don't know if I'm going to bet this one. I feel like I agree that the Eagles should be favored, but I don't think they should be favored by like 3 or anything. I think they should be favored by like 1.5 or 2. And so there's not that much. If you're talking 2.5, there's the difference here. But the line has gone to 1.5 or 1, which, is a bullish indicator for the Eagles. But it's not like a minus. There's not that much of a difference between -1 and +2. You know what I mean? So I don't like outside of the line value or line semi value. I don't know how much or what really what sort of an edge there is here. I do agree that injury wise they're trending the different ways. Like the Packers' offense, as you said, inconsistent, but one of the two pieces of their offense that has been consistent, which Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. Now one of those pieces is out. Also, they have a couple other injuries. Christian Watson has been limited both times so far. Now we'll see what happens on Saturday. Unfortunately, our submissions before we're going to know what he does on Saturday, but still, we don't know if we really don't know if Christian Watson's going to play. He's such an injury risk all the time, and now he's limited. Like what if he's out? Like we've seen Jordan Love struggle without Watson, but like how is he going to do without Watson and Kraft? So. That's an issue. Also, Matthew Golden has, I think he missed practice one time this week. So the Packers injuries are an issue. Nate Hobbs also going to be out. He has not practiced yet this week. So good luck covering Devontae Smith in the slot. And then the Eagles are trending better offensive or injury wise. They have a chance to get Nolan Smith back. They brought in Jalen Phillips. They run 2 cornerbacks. Maybe one of them will do well. We don't know yet, but I think there's a chance that one of them does well. So the Eagles are, and we saw last year the Eagles coming off the bye. That's really when they started to take off last year. Like they got into gear. They did have one bad game after the bye, but then they started blowing teams out left and right. So I think that this is a. I think that we have a situation here where the better team is an underdog. And so I would have interest in the Eagles. If you love them Eagles enough, then we could put it on the card. But I don't know how what's your level of interest here? So do you love it or like it or slightly?
I don't know. I like it. I mean, we can put it on the maybe pile. I'm just like, geez, I'm looking at their depth there. Like, there's so many. There's Q's next to every. The only. I see Wicks questionable, Golden questionable. Heath, Watson, Savion Williams, Jaden Reed's on injury reserve, Tucker Kraft on injury reserve. Romeo Doubs is the only one that I don't see with a letter next to their name.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe start Luke Musgrave at tight end, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, well, the Eagles have actually done really well against tight ends too. So that would be. So I would not play Musgrave in DFS. I would definitely be on Doubs. I say this jokingly, but I kind of like think it's a thing. I think like Dobbs is having his best season. I think it's because he has the big helmet, and like it's like Jordan Love. Like, seriously, Jordan Love sees it, and he sees this big helmet. Like, oh, let me throw it to Dobbs.
Yeah.
It's just right there.
Yeah, that's probably something to that.
It might be, yeah. And like he keeps wearing that big helmet. Like I feel like at this rate he wouldn't have to because he's like not in danger of a concussion after this long of a time. Maybe he realizes too. He's like, and he's wearing that big helmet forever. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I'll put this in the maybe pile. And he says I would trust Eagles more as a road dog at Green Bay than I would trust the Saints as a road dog at the Panthers. Well, I mean, you're getting if you're getting the same number, I would agree, but like you're getting 5.5 points with the Saints. You're getting the key number of 3, which is huge. And I think there's an equal distance between these two teams. Like I think the difference between the Eagles and Packers is equal to the difference between the Panthers and the Saints. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
So, right. And so, yeah, in one instance, we're getting 5.5 points. The other one, we're getting 1.5 points. And like, obviously you would trust the Eagles more than the Saints, but like you get to fade the Panthers instead of fading the Packers. And the Packers they're a top 10 team. As inconsistent as they've been, they're still a top 10 team. And we've seen Jordan Love complete 20 passes in a row in prime time. If the Packers won, I wouldn't be surprised. I think I'd be more surprised if the Panthers covered the 5.5 than if the Packers won. I think it's more likely the Packers cover then the Panthers win by more than 6. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with
think
that?
so too. I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to put it on the card though. It's seems a little too easy to me, and I've been zigging and zagging at all the wrong times the last few weeks with Green Bay. So I don't know.
Yeah, the helmets are hilarious. They look. There has to be a way to make them look better. You know, they look so ugly, but they work. I kind of wonder why every player doesn't wear them. Like I know they're not aesthetically pleasing, but if it prevents you from getting a concussion, like I would wear it all the time for like a player.
Yeah.
Like
Could be the difference
why risk
between you being brain dead later in life.
Yeah,
You know?
seriously. Yeah, I would do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's not who I am going against. The team I think is more capable of succeeding. Yeah, no, I mean, look, the Eagles are definitely better than the Saints. We're definitely not contesting that, but the matchup I think is the difference there for us and the spread. Okay, so it's my turn, right? Yeah, because you did this one. How about the Rams and Niners? So Rams have gone up to 5 or 5.5 even at DraftKings. This line keeps going up. Our line, I believe, is 4.5. Yeah, the opening line is 3.5, so we didn't get that, but still 4.5. So we get a very, very slight line value. 5 is a very unlikely result, but still it's something, I guess. I think that the Rams are the right side here. First of all, this is a revenge game, and so it means a lot. Like if the Niners had a bad record, and even if the Rams had lost to the Niners, I wouldn't be totally convinced that this would be a revenge game because, you know, the Rams have Seattle next, and they'd be like, okay, they probably would be thinking, oh, we could beat this team. This team sucks. But the Niners have a good record. If the Rams lose to the Niners again, they're going to be way behind the Niners in the standings, so the Niners would have the tiebreaker against them. So, like, this is a very important game for them. So they're obviously going to be up for it. The last time these teams played, the Niners won, as I said, on Thursday Night Football. In that game, despite the Rams losing, the Rams had 7.1 yards per play. The Niners had 4.9. That is a huge difference. And it was all turnovers, 4th and 1 mishaps. You know, the Rams just played a sloppy game. I just think that I think they took that game lightly because they just saw, I believe what the Niners do before that. I think that they lost to the Jaguars the week before. So if I'm the Rams and I see this wounded team with Mac Jones starting, and I'm like, this team just lost to the Jaguars with Purdy, and now they have Jones. I'm like, we'll be fine here. You know, I think that's the mentality. It's obviously tough to know how these players think, but like if I'm looking at my opponent, I'm like, yeah, we'll be fine. We'll beat them. So maybe they were overconfident. I don't think they'll be overconfident this time because the Niners are coming off a big win against the Giants, and these records are similar. So, like I said, I think the Rams would be geared up for this game. I love the matchups here. The Rams offense against the Niners defense that's just devoid of talent. They have so many injuries. Bryce Huff will play, so they'll have some pass rush, but the Rams offensive line is way too good to allow anything. Puka Nacua does not have an injury designation, so he's going to play. And then the Rams defense against the Niners offense. This is a backup quarterback against a top defense. I know the Niners won in the last matchup, but again, the Rams weren't 100% focused, and also only 4.9 yards per play. That's not very much. I like everything here for the Rams. Again, I wish we were getting 3.5 instead of 5.5, but I still like it at 5.5 or 5. But it's 4.5 at the contest. So, what are your thoughts on this game?
I don't have much to add. I really like the Rams a lot too. Geez, I do have to give kudos to the 49ers. They've played with all the injuries they sustained. They've far exceeded my expectations. But I really think the first matchup was kind of a fluky win. The Rams, what was it? Kyren Williams,
Kyren Williams, yeah.
Or Kyren, yeah. Kyrie, yeah. Kyren Williams fumbled there at the goal line, and so many things went wrong. Despite, I mean, the Rams definitely deserved to lose that game, but they still could have pulled it out in the end. I think they're going to win this pretty easily. There is like a special teams play and a fumble at the goal line away from being undefeated. I know I've kind of talked negatively about them before, but I don't know. I like this, especially the second time these two teams are meeting. Maybe a little revenge after the last meeting. I just don't think San Francisco, with all the injuries, can keep it up for as long as they can, as long as they haven't played as well as they have through all these injuries. So I like the Rams to win here pretty easily. So we can get them on there.
Okay. Well, we have 5 definites right now, so
Okay.
I mean, we can look at the games that we haven't talked about to
Okay.
see if we're missing anything. So starting at the top, we talked Falcons, Colts, and Browns, Jets, Saints, Panthers. We discussed. We did not do Bills, Dolphins. Do you have anything on this game?
I took the Dolphins plus 11 the first time these teams played, and I won.
Yeah.
But
What about this time?
I have no interest in touching this one. I'd take the Bills. Bills are nothing, but yeah, I'm not going to touch this.
Yeah, Bills have some injuries that have popped up. They might get Daquan Jones back from injury, but yeah, the Bills are a little banged up, and they just beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So this is actually the point I was making about the Rams Niners. If the Niners had a bad record, like this is the same situation. The Bills didn't lose the first time, but they barely won. But they already played. They already beat this team. So they just beat the Chiefs. They already beat this team, and they're favored by a large margin here. Like how they have to be overconfident in this game. They're like, yeah, we'll beat Miami, right? Like, but these games have been close. The last 2 times they played, they've been close. So, I have the Bills penciled in on the site, but I could see the Dolphins covering. So, I don't like this one at all.
Yeah. I think there's merit to what you're saying. I would be hesitant to take the Bills. It looks, yeah. I'm just going to stay away. Just
Okay.
given the spot, what you said, it could be close. Andy, you were just to respond to what you're saying to real quick. Sorry about the Niners since week 2 or 3, but I think this is. I mean, I know they played the Rams before, but outside of the Rams the first time, and I know they won. I mean, the 49ers have an easy schedule, so I don't know. I think this time the Rams will be ready, and this was probably going to be their toughest matchup of the year. So, I mean, there's merit to what you're saying, but I don't know. I think if it's going to run out, I think there's a good chance it's going to be this week. So
The Niners have played one team above Group C this year, and it was the Rams. It was the Rams. So 26-23 Thursday night. Thursday night games are so weird. I'm upset at a point where like I just don't. I feel like we should not take Thursday night games seriously. You know, Rams had their chance in overtime versus the Niners. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they were very overconfident in that game. Like I said, they saw the Niners lose to the Jaguars. They're playing Mac Jones. So like, oh, we'll be fine. And they weren't fine. The Niners had a good coaching performance for sure. And I think they did get lucky with some fumbles and stuff like that. But I think if they played that game again, the Rams would win convincingly.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Kevin, thank you so much. $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Kevin. Quality content, Walter and company, worth the money. Sorry, don't subscribe to the site. Thank you for the hard and consistent work every year. Well, I really appreciate it, Kevin. No, thank you. Thank you for supporting us here. I'm completely honest. Like these YouTube ads pay nothing. So your super chats, like they help us out so much. So I really appreciate it, Kevin. Like, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we haven't talked about. We talked about Jags, Texans, Ravens, Vikings. We did not mention. I describe this as like rooting, like trying to decide which of my children I'm rooting for, because I love both teams. Both teams have bad records. Both teams have bad records. But they're so much healthier than they were. Like the Ravens completely healthy except for Matabuke, but they traded for Draymond Jones. And then the Vikings, their offensive line is finally healthy. Andrew Van Ginkel's finally playing. I think both teams are bet on teams for the rest of the year unless they suffer more injuries. So I don't like that they're playing each other. If I had to choose to be the Vikings, I think this line's a touch too high. But the Ravens are the better team. So I'm not betting this game. What do you think about it?
I don't have much of an opinion here either. I'd probably, don't forget, this is interconference on the road. So, the infamous. So I don't know. I don't have any opinion on this really. I maybe would take the Vikings, but this is probably the one game on the board I have literally no interest in.
Yeah, that's Andy saying Lamar's the difference maker. Yeah, and Lamar versus McCarthy. It seems obvious, but Minnesota has a lot of talent. I wouldn't discount them. I could see the case for taking Baltimore for sure. Yeah, Chris saying Baltimore is the toughest game of the week. I feel that way, except for the next one. I can't figure this one out. Andy actually likes Tampa a lot. Patriots, the Buccaneers. I flip flopped on this game all week. The Patriots have not played a tough schedule except for Buffalo, but they've blown out most of their opponents. So you can only play who's on your schedule. But Tampa hasn't beaten tough teams either. Their two big tests against the Eagles, they're getting blown out until the end in the garbage time, and then Detroit, they lost by double digits. Like, so who's to say that if the Patriots are as good as the record says, like, who's to say the Buccaneers won't get blown out? Tampa, by the way, they're not going to have Hassan Reddick, so they're going to be down a big time pass rusher. They're not going to have Godwin again. They're not going to have Bucky Irving again. The Patriots will not have Kayshon Boutte. That's something. But they still have Diggs. They still have Hunter Henry. People have been talking up Kyle Williams. I don't know about Kyle Williams, but still, I said this. Like I said, I flip flopped on this game so much. I'm currently on the Patriots. I could be convinced Tampa's the right side. Do you have a strong take in this game?
No, I really don't. I would probably lean the Bucks, though. I don't know. This is even with all those injuries. I don't know. This Bucks team, yes, I know they've really stolen a lot of their wins down the stretch and in a lot of those respective games. But they play tough. I love Baker Mayfield. I've always been a fan of his. I know, like, this may be, trying to think, other than the Bills, who I know they beat, the Patriots, as we know, their schedule is incredibly weak this year. And I like this team, and I do think they're very good, and I think Vrabel's a great coach. I don't know. They're interconference on the road.
Of course. Yeah.
That's a bad spot.
Which way we don't know, but
yeah. I don't have a strong take, but I like the Bucks here.
Yeah. Andy's saying Tampa's last two wins were by double digits. The Patriots have some games. So I think I would say the Patriots have more double digit wins than the Bucks do, but still, like, the Saints are, garbage. Who won by? I think the Bucks won by a larger amount against the Saints, right? Because they won by 20. What was the Patriots Saints result? It was it's 25-19, but the Patriots had a couple touchdowns wiped off the board by penalties or whatnot. The Patriots beat the Panthers 42-13. They beat the Titans 31-13. They beat the Dolphins. Was a 6-point game, but that was I believe they were up 13-0 in that game. They beat the Browns 32-13. Let me see, and then of course they beat the Bills 23-20, which is the most impressive win that both of these teams have combined. The Buccaneers' best win, because like I said, they got blown out by the Eagles, or at least were getting blown out till garbage time, and they lost to the Lions by 15. Sorry, I think I said 10 before. They lost by 15. So the Buccaneers, what is their best win this year? I think at Seattle, I would say 38-35. So I mean, it's a good win. I just think winning at Buffalo is more impressive. So
I don't disagree.
Yeah, Patriots played more weak teams. Yeah, no, I agree. But they've won by margin in all those games except for the Raiders game. But that was a coach's first game, so I'm not gonna hold them against them. Andy, as you know, I don't take week one seriously. After about week 4, I just completely discount it. And it's kind of the reason why, like, these coaches, there's no preseason anymore. These coaches are getting used to, the game action, the first year coaches, first year quarterbacks, especially if they're new, like veterans and new teams, like, I don't know if they're completely synced in as they are in like week 2 onward. So I don't take week 1 seriously. So anyway, let's get to, I think that's it. Giants, Bears, we talked about, Cardinals, Seahawks, Lions, Redskins, Rams, Niners, Steelers, Chargers, and Eagles, Packers. So yeah, we talked about all these games so far. And let's get our card here on the board. And you know what I do. We do definites first. Let me put the maybes on so we know, so we can compare them to what we have. Well, we only have two. We only have 2 maybes, and they are. Texans plus 1.5, Eagles plus 2.5. So I bring that up because let me paste in the definites, and we could see if maybe we like one of the maybes over the definites.
Okay.
So our definites are Browns minus 2.5, Saints plus 5.5, Lions minus 7.5, Steelers plus 2.5, Rams minus 4.5. Would you take Texans or Eagles over any of those five?
If I had to sub one in, it would be the Texans, but
Well, for which team though?
yeah, I don't know. Geez, does Pittsburgh seem a little too easy to you this week? I don't know.
The public is on them, but like I said, I don't know. The public has taken such a beating this year that I feel like they need to give back to the public almost because like no one's gonna be able to bet anymore.
Well, let's keep what we have. I'm good with that.
Okay. So give the coaches credit who are prepared for week one. Yeah, I guess so. But like Sean Payton's, I think we would agree that he's a really good coach. But look at his week one records. His week 1 and 2 records are what 3-18-1 against the spread. It's just awful. So like, it just Zach. We can understand Zach Taylor being terrible in week 1, but like Sean Payton, he can't coach in week 1.
That is such a crazy stat.
It's insane. Yeah. How can you trust Cleveland? How can we trust Cleveland? Can you answer?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think. Well, first of all, I think their defense is very underrated. I'm not going to get. I had the Jets against the Bengals. I just don't think that that's any sort of momentum coming off a bye. Yes, but now they lost Sauce Gardner. This team has really struggled to put up points against other superior defenses. I don't see why that would change. I don't look at this one as any sort of rejuvenating to their season. At what they're now, 1-8 or something. I think it's no matter what it is, it's terrible. Yeah, the Jets. I mean, there's no way I can hang my hat on anything just after one game, and that was against a terrible Cincinnati defense. So I like the Browns here. I think hey, there's a chance. They're minus 2.5. If the Browns score 13 points, they might cover. So, just saying.
Yeah. So, how do you trust the Browns? Is the question. I trust their defense, which is excellent, especially against a bad offense. Like if they're playing the Bills or the Chiefs, like I wouldn't trust them in those matchups. But they're playing against the Jets. I fully trust their defense against the Jets. I trust their running game against the Jets. The Jets 22nd against the run, and that's with Quinn and Williams. So they're going to be worse against the run. I trust Judkins. And Andy, we were talking about this. I guess you came on after. We were talking about how the Panthers beat the Jets in New York by 7, and I was like, I don't know what the Panthers do better than the Browns. I think the Browns are better in every regard compared to the Panthers, except for maybe offensive tackle. But that doesn't matter in this matchup because the Jets can't get after the quarterback. So outside of that, like maybe you would say Bryce Young over Dylan Gabriel, but I think Bryce Young sucks. Like maybe Dylan Gabriel sucks more, but they both suck. So like what do the Panthers do definitively better than the Browns? I don't think there's anything. Whereas I could say I think the Browns defense is much better than Carolina's defense. And if the question is how do you trust Cleveland? I'll say how do you trust Carolina? And we saw Carolina win at the Jets by 7. So that would be my answer to that. As good as Cleveland's defense is equals how bad their offense is. Well, their pass offense, yes. Their running game has been really good since Judkins took over for the barrage of running backs they had earlier. Judkins is really good. He's really talented. I think he could have a huge game here against the Jets. No Quinn Williams. Yeah, Carolina did 13-6. Yeah, I feel like if the Panthers could win at the Jets 13-6, I think the Browns can win 17-6. I think they're a little bit as weird as it sounds weird because the records are different. I think the Browns are better than the Panthers, so I trust them more than the Carolina. Jets team total under 18.5. Yes, for sure. Unless there's some weird fumble recoveries for touchdowns or kickoff returns, which could always happen. I think this is a great bet. Jets team total under 18.5. What do you think?
I like it too a lot.
Yeah. The regular season just one big preseason for the Chiefs. Yes, that's true. For the playoffs, but they may have flown too close to the sun this year. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, they wouldn't be in the playoffs, which is pretty wild.
Wow.
Carolina's a better offense. I don't know. Why? Why is Carolina the better offense? I think they both have good running games. You know, Rico Doodle has been really good running the ball for the Panthers, but I think Quinshon Judkins is the better running back. So I want to see where these two teams rank offensively according to the numbers. The Browns are 30th. Doesn't look good. The Panthers are 22nd. So yeah, the Panthers a little bit better, but like the Panthers also played a very easy schedule too. Like you look at the two schedules, and I know like at this point, but like the Panthers have played only three teams above Group C. They played the Bills. They lost 40-9. They played the Patriots. They lost 42-13. And they beat the Packers 16-13. So in their 3 games against teams above Group C, they scored 16, 13, and 9. The Browns have played against the Ravens. They played against the Lions. They played against the Packers, and it's funny they both beat the Packers. They lost to the Patriots, same result, and then they played against the Bengals when the Bengals had Joe Burrow. So they played 5 tough games compared to Carolina's 3. So I think if these two schedules are flipped, I think that there's a good chance the Browns would have a better record than the Panthers. The Carolina debate, yes. We're also going to find a Panthers-Browns debate on 1:37 a.m. on the East Coast.
Nice.
On a Friday night / Saturday morning. So
we love that here.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I think we've exhausted everything. We have our sides here. So let me paste it one more time. So of course I have to do this. Holmes, Hall, Heroes. We're 24-21, right?
Yeah, that's right.
24-21. Here we go. Here's our card. Browns, which Andy will be receiving soon. Browns -2.5, Saints +5.5, Lions -7.5, Steelers +2.5, Rams -4.5. Hopefully that is a 5-0. I would love it after to rebound. True Sicko still here. Rise up, not you. Oh man. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Thanks especially to Kevin Kovac for the $10 super chat, $5, $10, $5, $10, and $5. Kevin, you're the man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And Parrots helped too here. The $2 super chat, guys. Thank you so much. I can't say it enough. You guys are awesome, helping us out. Just really appreciate it in keeping the show going. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the games. Good luck with all your bets. And Tom, anything you want to plug or on your way out? Maybe your Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter at Quacky T. I think it's I don't even know anymore. I tweet out some hockey picks every now and then, though I haven't been doing much ever since the Steelers lost or didn't cover against Green Bay. But yeah, hey, I appreciate everyone. I have a great time hanging out with all of you. We're bringing in, seems like, a lot more viewers. Appreciate interacting with you. And Walt, it's more fun every week, man. Thanks so much.
I know this is great. I love doing the show with all you guys, Andy, Evan, and you, and then Kenny with the fantasy football. It's really fun. Get that 5-0 boys. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, and look, this is the beginning of a new mini contest in the Circa Millions. We have their quarter 3. So the in quarter 2 there were 3 people tied for first place. They were 21-4. It was a 5-week quarter instead of 4. This is a 4-week quarter. Those guys took home $83,000 each. So wow. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's go. Let's sweep the board. Let's go 20-0, not sweat it at all.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. All right, guys. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. I'll post a short video tomorrow night. If any changes come up, I'll talk about it. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you on Tuesday.